know if this group of Miami Hurricanes is as flamboyant as the group of Miami Hurricanes that spawned that video and that song by Trick Daddy back in the day. You remember Trick Daddy? JW Madden? Were you a
Who could forget
were you a
Trick Daddy? Come
fan?
on. I think I know the one song.
But hey, right now it is all about the U. The U is back in the national championship game. The Miami Hurricanes, after they knocked off the Ole Miss Rebels. Sorry, Colonel, you're headed back home. You're headed back into purgatory, Colonel Reb.
Speaking of home, that's what the Hurricanes get as a prize.
Yes, how about that?
I saw a post the
there.
other day and it said, first time that a team plays for a national championship in their home building. And everybody in the comments was like, bro, like Miami literally played in the same stadium for a national championship. It was just 25, 30 years ago, right? So this has happened before. But in the football playoff series era, yeah, first time that a team will play at home in the national championship game.
And who they'll play at home will be decided tonight in the Peach Bowl as the Indiana Hoosiers will take on the Oregon Ducks. We'll get you who you should take in that game straight ahead.
I've heard that there's nothing but Hoosiers in Peachland these days. Like the fan base. I mean, think about it. Like they've been a little bit down on the basketball side of things, and this season is such a magical one for their football team. Very unexpected, but they are showing up apparently for that bowl game.
I have Hoosier friends, and they went to the Rose Bowl. I don't know if they're going tonight as well, but they've got the money to travel. So if they certainly want to be there, I'll have to check Facebook tomorrow and find out if they're in Atlanta for the game as well tonight. They graduated. A friend of mine back from Cleveland, Ohio. She and her husband both went to the University of Indiana. They have one of their daughters now goes to the University of Indiana, so they are a Hoosier family for sure. And they have really been enjoying the statement of this football program that they've seen now over the last 2 seasons, in which the Hoosiers have arrived as one of the best teams in college football. They are the number 1 seed. They are again playing an Oregon team they beat by 10 points in Eugene. So they are the prohibitive favorites tonight. Can they do it 2 times in a row? That remains to be seen for sure. But the Miami Hurricane, man, that was a really good football game last night. If you had a chance to go, did you go up to the game at the Fiesta Bowl? 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. If you were at the game at the Fiesta Bowl last night here in Arizona. I heard it was there were seats available. I mean, so it wasn't like sold out or anything like that. If you wanted to go, you could get in to see that game last night. But it was a pretty good crowd. And yeah, I mean, as somebody that again lived in Memphis for a number of years, had to deal with the Rebel faithful for those 3 years that I was down living in the South. I actually spoke on campus at an event one time down at Ole Miss. I was driving down there and I was like, oh my gosh, me speaking on campus at Ole Miss in a journalism class platform. I was like, I've never done this before. So that was an interesting bucket list moment in my life. I mentioned the only SEC game that I've ever been to was at Ole Miss, Alabama and Ole Miss 2005. That was kind of before Alabama started getting real good. They have a famed tailgate area known as the Grove down at Ole Miss. So
that's not all they're famous for.
What else are they famous for?
Well, USC and Ole Miss have some things in common. Co-eds, apparently, is what they're very famous for.
Oh, Ole Miss?
Yes.
Yeah, there might be a few of those.
Just a few.
Just a few down there. Yeah, but I don't know if their co-eds are any better than any other college, to be quite honest.
All I'm telling you is what the internet tells me.
Okay.
So,
Don't always believe the internet.
Well, this is like a 40-year-old thing about Ole Miss is what everybody's always said. Not a new thing, yeah.
Okay. So that was, I think I've been to 1 SEC game, 2 ACC games in my life. And so, yeah, I went to a game at, actually, I've been to a game at North Carolina, a game at Duke on the same day. We went to a morning game or a late morning game at North Carolina one year when I was living down there on the coast, and then we went to a night game over at Duke. So that was kind of a cool day of college football. For
What's
a buddy.
Durham like?
Football?
Just the city in general.
I mean, the city is great. Yeah, we had some because I think we ate there. We ended up, we didn't eat over in Chapel Hill. We went and ate over in Durham and then went to the game there. So yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was a good college town, fun, a lot of things going on around game day. I mean, the game itself wasn't anything glorious. I mean, that Duke wasn't all that great back in. I think this was 1995,
Right.
So I mean, Duke wasn't like great at that particular time. But there was people there, and it was fun. There were more people at the North Carolina game than there were at the Duke game we went to. And then I take that back. I've also been to an NC State game.
The Triangle, is that they call it?
I've been to one game in each of those stadiums when I lived down there.
There's like 16, 17 miles between those three schools.
Yeah,
right?
it's crazy. It's a crazy little the Triangle. They love
so
their college
ASU,
sports there.
ASU is where we are, right? UCLA is on the east side of Tucson, and picking another Oregon is on the south side, right? It's like all three of those schools are right next to each other.
So, yeah, if you were at the game last night, want to hear from you, 520-848-1290. What did you think? How did it play? Again, the Fiesta Bowl is, I don't know if they're going to be in the semifinal every year. I think it kind of rotates between the six, what they used to call New Year's 6 games. So they might be a quarterfinal game next year versus a semifinal game. And then the championship game, again, is this year in Miami. So we'll find out who their opponent for their home championship game is going to be later tonight. That game kicks off at 5:30 our time at the Peach Bowl, Oregon, 5th seed, Indiana. And Indiana is a 3-point favorite in that game. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Full show for you today. Basketball game day tomorrow. Arizona men and women will both be on the floor. Women here in town, men down in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm interested to see because, again, there's a large contingent of alums, Arizona alums, that live in the area. What do they call it? There's a name for Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington. Don't they have a name like the Triangle too?
Yeah.
Something
I wish Kelvin was here because he would definitely
would know what it is. I don't recall what that is. But a large number of alums have settled down in that area. And so I'm anxious to kind of see if they have a block of folks that are going to be there chanting U of A at that game tomorrow. Only the 5th time that these two teams have ever played in basketball.
DFW is what I'm seeing more than anything.
Yeah. That is also the airport code there.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, I think it has another name. If you're from Dallas Fort Worth, what is that? What is the name of the conglomerate of cities? Dallas Fort Worth, Arlington. The nickname, I know it has something. I just don't recall right now what it is. So we will have coverage tomorrow, and you can text us that at 520. If you don't have to call. Just text us at 520-848-1290 and enlighten us on what that is.
Good thing Arizona doesn't have to see another tough, physical, rebounding team coached by a guy who loves defense, right?
Exactly. I mean, these two teams are very, very similar. I don't know if TCU is as good offensively as Arizona is, but these are two teams that like to rebound, like to try to get out and run. And so that should be a fun fight on the boards Saturday.
We got a lot of connection here in Tucson with Jamie Dixon, not necessarily directly with him, but because Ben Howland was his protege, and Ben Howland obviously took over after he left Pitt when that's where Dixon was, took over UCLA, and all those years with Kevin Love and all those guys under the Howland era. So that was a very similar style to the way that Jamie Dixon coaches.
The last time these two teams met, obviously, was the postseason game. Metroplex. Thank you. Rich, our guy Rich, chimes in.
Yeah.
The Metroplex. I knew it was something.
DFW
Yes.
Metroplex.
Yeah, Metroplex is what they call it down there. Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, and that whole thing. I have not been down there. I went down there for the Cotton Bowl one year when, gosh, this was not too long ago. I want to say 2022-ish maybe. Might have actually been before the pandemic. I can't remember if it was before the pandemic or after the pandemic. We went down there when Ohio State played USC in the Cotton Bowl. My wife and I and some of our friends, some of our Ohio State friends from Ohio, Cleveland, met us out there. We had a really good time, really good. We stayed not too far from Jerry's World, and it was just It was fun. It was cold. It gets cold in Dallas at this time of year, but yeah, it was. We had a great time down there in Dallas, Fort Worth. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out in tomorrow at TCU. A team that, again, likes to rebound the basketball, a team that had Kansas down on their home court by double digits the other night, but just could not close it out. So I'm sure that was really disappointing for them. So they've got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Our coverage will begin at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow, 10:30 in the morning, and we will have the tip-off of that game for you right here at 2 o'clock. Let's go to the phones, 520-848-1290, and chat with Ron. You're on DK on the Sports Tip.
Yeah, hi. I want to talk about the Arizona Wildcats basketball winning streak.
Yes.
What I find most interesting is that Michigan just recently set the record. It was actually set in 2002 or 2003 of winning 10 games in a row by at least 18 points. And like I said, that was the most since 23 years ago, something like that. Arizona just broke that streak by winning 10 games in a row by at least 19 points. Now, what I find most interesting is, first of all, it had to happen in so many years. And second of all, it just happened right now when one streak just broke the other. So I'm curious, what does that say about college basketball these days?
The thing is that with the transfer portal NIL, you're seeing a lot of new faces on new teams. So Florida is a good example. They lost their whole backcourt from last year's championship team. They're going to be much better this month, next month, and beyond than they were when Arizona saw them. So I think a little bit of that has to do. You're talking about the last 30 years and why there weren't streaks of 20-plus of point victories. I think it's because the inconsistency of a lot of the teams that Arizona has seen, and just the fact that Michigan and Arizona right now have the perfect storm. They're built, their rosters are built perfectly to win right now, and they got a lot of guys on the same page. They're playing great ball early. A lot of those other teams, UConn's another example, are going to be playing much better basketball in February and March than they did maybe in November.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Again, I'm just surprised it happened one right after the other.
Yeah.
For one thing, I think it's kind of surprising.
First time since Duke did it in 03-04.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that other sportscasters aren't pointing that out because, again, I think it's just an unusual coincidence that should be mentioned. People should be aware of that.
That's why that's why everybody's trying to create a matchup between Arizona and Michigan that is not on the schedule.
Did you hear the announcers the other day?
Yeah.
Talking about how they should have a midseason tournament after non-conference and have like the best four teams
in the country
play it out, some kind of midseason NBA Cup, Euro League soccer type of tournament midseason.
Cool. That would be really cool.
Scheduling would be. Would
you go to that game, Ron? Go see Arizona Michigan if they played in the midseason?
If it was a neutral territory, yes.
Yes. Where would you want that game to be?
You put a pin in a map directly in between the two universities, wherever that is.
Where would that be? We'll look that up. Hey, Ron, I appreciate your call.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Bye. All right, we're joined by the third member of our program, Cricket.
What's up?
What time is it?
What time is it?
Right now, on this Friday at 3:15, it is the weekend. Woo! Yes, it is the weekend. We have reached that final work day for the most of you. I'll be here tomorrow. I work every Saturday.
Of course you do.
J-Dub and I are here every Saturday. Cricket won't be. She'll be off enjoying the weekend with the rest of you out there. And she's going to tell you right now some of the things that you could be enjoying here in southern Arizona this weekend.
The Foothills Community Market is back. I think they took 2 weeks off, but Foothills Community Market, and the weather's going to be really nice to walk around.
Is that the one at St. Philip's Plaza?
No, that is Foothills Mall.
Oh, Foothills Mall.
Foothills Community
Market.
Market.
There we go.
Saturdays and Sundays, 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. with local makers. They're going to be selling like one-of-a-kind items and yard art and jewelry and baked goods and food trucks. You can get your grub on. Saturdays and Sundays, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Foothills Mall right next to Barnes & Noble. Tomorrow at Reed Park Zoo is World Desert Day. Now, this was for Dragon Ball, but I'll tell you, too. Did you know that Reed Park Zoo has a new capybara? Do I
don't
say that
know-
right?
I
Or is
don't
it the
know what a
capybara?
I don't know what a capybara is.
They're
but-
kind of like, they look like giant guinea pigs. You'd see one and you'd
Oh,
say,
yes.
oh, that's a capybara.
Okay.
Capybara.
All right.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's brand new. She arrived, I think, mid-December. Her name is Chocolate, and you can find her in the South America loop. That was Dragon Ball said that's one of his favorite animals.
So
I
capybara.
I saved that for Dragon Ball. And they're looking for a mate for Chocolate.
Cool.
Also, Lights Up, a festival of illumination at Tucson Botanical Gardens through Sunday. 1 million twinkling lights. Yes, we're still doing holiday stuff. This is the last
Up.
weekend.
Last weekend of Lights Up at the I've not gotten out there.
Oh, my
I
gosh.
really need to. Have you gone?
No, it's amazing. There has to be 1 million lights that they have
Wow.
up. It's beautiful, and they still have the. I don't mean to point at you, but I know you like model trains.
Yes.
they still have. So go see
yeah,
the lights.
right.
Go see the model trains, and tomorrow night at Tucson Botanical Gardens, it's a holiday vintage car show. So all the vintage classic cars are going to be decked out in holiday lights.
So we'll be done tomorrow early, so I might be able to do
So
that.
maybe
I'm gonna put
swing
that,
by.
Party at the gardens.
At the Tucson
Party
Botanical
at the
Gardens.
Yeah, Botanical Gardens. All right, Cricket will be back
yes.
in the 5 o'clock hour with
Okay.
more about what's happening in Southern Arizona. Right now, she's getting you home on a much more beautiful day than we've had the last two every 20 minutes on the 5.
And from the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions reported eastbound I-10 near Kolb, Foothills, Sunrise Drive, and Craycroft. Crashes reported Broadway west of Swan, also Prudence and Broadway, and backups on southbound Keno approaching Silver Lake. Oh, there is a freeze warning in effect until 9 a.m. tomorrow. 33 the low, 58 sunny skies tomorrow, and 52 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
They say time flies like a sparrow.
And fruit flies like a banana. We're off to a great start.
If you two don't mind, I'd like to tell our customers about something they won't do in 2026.
I'm not doing a lot of things.
Like changing your socks.
Guys, I'm talking about no payments or interest for a full year on a new system.
Oh, people are going to like that.
You should tell them.
As I was saying, Alaskan AC can install a brand new heating and air system and have no payments or interest for a year.
365 days.
12 months.
You'll get all the comfort and you won't write a check for a whole year.
Ha! Ron still writes checks.
He's so old, the first picture of him was an oil painting.
You guys having fun?
I never have fun.
I'm having a little fun.
This is big. With approved credit, get a spanking new furnace and AC system. No payments or interest for a year.
Spanking new?
Ron talks old-timey.
Schedule your appointment today, whenever you want, online at alaskanac.com.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Hey, man. Yeah, it's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We're here at a local Tucson tobacco store where evil high tobacco prices have gone up yet again.
Look, up in the sky.
I'm Captain Tobacco, here to fight evil high tobacco prices.
My hero.
Remember, citizens, save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products at Tobacco Barn.
Look at those muscles.
Stand back while I hang 5 on these evil high prices.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products. You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation. And save up to another $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
He did it!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Hooray! My hero.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
Tell them Captain Tobacco sent you.
Oh, brother.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
High punt. Jones near the 10, makes the catch at the 12. He'll try to run. Went backwards, breaks a tackle, now has room. He's going upfield. He's got the 40. He's got the 50. Beats the punter. Marcus Jones is gone. An 87-yard punt return for a touchdown. A rare special teams miscue by the Panthers.
Let's hope they don't make any miscues like that coming up tomorrow. The Panthers will be playing in the playoffs. In fact, they'll be kicking off the playoffs for 2025. Super Wild Card Weekend will be the thing. There'll be 2 games tomorrow. There'll be 3 games on Sunday. There'll be 1 game on Monday night. Now, we will have, how many of the games? We will have 5 of those 6 games here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, we will not have the Panthers game here. We will carry the second half of that game over on KTUC Freedom 1400. Obviously, we have Arizona basketball coverage on Saturday, the game at TCU. So that will take us right up to about 6:30, and that's a 2:30 game. Between the Panthers and the Los Angeles Rams to start off the NFL playoffs. So you'll get probably the second half of that game. Arizona women's basketball playing tomorrow. They'll be at home at McHale Center against Central Florida. That game is scheduled to tip off at 2 o'clock. Our coverage on Freedom 1400 will begin at 1:45 with Derek Palmer over there. Generally, those games last right about 2 hours in terms of the broadcasts, about 2 hours and 15 minutes or so. So we anticipate that we'll be out of that game around 4:15, which should be just about halftime of the Panthers and Rams, and we'll pick up coverage of that on Freedom 1400 right there. So you'll get a chance to hear the entire second half of the game involving Lathan Ransom from South Point Catholic High School, as well as our guy Tetairoa McMillan from the University of Arizona, who had over 1,000 receiving yards. Then there's a second game on Saturday night. There is nothing better than rivalries. And how about a rivalry in the playoffs? You remember, well, in fact, a few years ago, the Browns haven't won. My Browns have not won very many playoff games. But the one they did was over the Steelers a few years ago in the postseason. Now you get the Bears and the Packers, another great NFL rivalry. Now, we'll be done. So we're going to carry that game here. That will be on Wildcats Radio 1290. So we will hopefully get to that game right about kickoff. Kickoff is at 6:20. We're scheduled to go to 6:30 tomorrow with postgame. We're going to try to get through and wrap that up as quick as we can so that you'll get to kickoff. We may be a few minutes past that You know how we tend to drone on and talk a lot about Arizona Wildcats basketball. So we'll try to get to that game as close to kickoff as we can tomorrow night. But so my wife has a bunch. She's kind of fallen in with some Packers people here in southern Arizona. So
is that contagious?
Well, you know, it's green and gold, which you don't ever want to have green on your face.
I just mean if you fall in with some Packers people, are you just like eating cheese and putting stuff on, cheese on your head? Well, like how's that work?
Something like, well, Packers. They're Packers fans. They like to have football parties.
Yeah.
So we've gone over the one lady's house. We've gone on. She had a party last year for the game against the Eagles, which I think was in the divisional round. We went over there and hung out and watched the game. Great, bunch of great food that day. It was really awesome. Ate a lot, ate too much, as a matter of fact. And then sometimes they like to gather at some of the establishments that are kind of in our foothills area, whether that be Trident 2 or Finney's Landing, some of those to watch games. So we'll occasionally go up and watch a game if we're available to do that. So I told my wife, I was like, we'll find out what the Packers people are doing tomorrow. Where are they going to be? Let's go watch the game with your Packers brethren. And then I started thinking about, there's as many Bears fans here in Southern Arizona as there is Packers fans. I don't know. I think we one time went into what's the country bar at Foothills Mall. We went in there and there were some Bears fans. In fact, I think they were playing the Packers. I think it was last year they were playing the Packers late in the season. And so there were some Bears fans, but I don't know if the Bears have a true bar here in Southern Arizona. If you're a Bears fan and you gather with your fellow Bears fans here in Southern Arizona, where's that at? 520-848-1290. I think I have to look at Dragon Ball's list, but I don't know if he had a Packer or a Bears bar per se on his list that he put together back last summer. So I know that there's several different places where Packers fans gather. I think the Packers actually watch some of their games. I think they have a club that gathers down at No Anchovies down on University Avenue as well. So
I know.
I want to know where you're watching the Packers Bears game because I can go watch that game tomorrow night.
I know Finney pretty well.
Yes.
Doug,
is that?
Yeah, he was.
I don't know that I think I met him once.
He was a graphic designer, and he's actually the one who designed the Frog and Firkin logo with the British flag. He was very good friends with Aaron and Crystal and those people who owned the Faber family back in those days. And then he decided to get into the bar industry himself and got the Hut, was the first one down on 4th. But yeah, Finney's Landing, that guy is a good dude. Tall, very tall.
There we go. So we will have. I know there's Bob Dobbs they cater to Chicago fans as well. That's not too far from campus. It's funny. My mother's been in the hospital this week. One of her nurses was a bartender that used to serve because we used to go to Bob Dobbs a lot because it's all connected to my wife. My wife used to run with some people that loved to go to Bob Dobbs back when she first moved here in 2009, 2010. That was their bar, and she would always go meet them there because that was the only place they ever wanted to go.
Yeah,
was Bob Dobbs, and so we would occasionally go to Bob Dobbs to hang out with those folks, and so they've got a lot of Bears stuff and Cubs stuff, and so they have a tendency to cater to Chicagoans, but I don't know if that's a Sunday spot where Bears fans go to watch games or not. So, but
I mean, there's also Chicago Bar, and that's an old staple of Tucson. We used to go there in the 70s and 80s
Speedway.
and 90s for hot dogs and arcade games is what I did while the adults were drinking. But yeah, I know that there's some good blues music and some Bears fans in there as well.
So we'll have that game for you. Then we will have all three of the games on Sunday. Well, starting at 10:30 in the morning. We're going to have football from 10:30 in the morning all the way till around 9 o'clock in the evening. So we'll have all three of those games coming up for you on Sunday, and then we'll have the Monday night game as well. So Sunday, you've got Bills-Jaguars kick it off. Coverage at 10:30. Game starts at 11. Then 49ers and Eagles is the middle game, 2:30 kickoff. And then Chargers and Patriots is the last game. That's a 6 o'clock kickoff. And then Monday night, we'll have Texans, Steelers for you here. So we'll only go an hour on Monday. Our show, 1 hour show, 3 to 4. We'll have Panthers talk. It might be the finals Panther talk. It might not be. the final Panther Talk? We'll find out on Saturday, but we will have Panther Talk for you at 4:05 on Monday, and then Monday Night Football coverage begins at 5 o'clock with the Texans and the Steelers. So that is our NFL schedule. In fact, speaking of the Panthers, let's give you your Panthers report for today.
This Panther Update is brought to you by UNC Charlotte.
The Panthers offense will look to improve on their recent performances as they face the high-scoring LA Rams in Saturday's playoff game. I'm Jim Zoki with the Panthers Update after this.
Charlotte's momentum has a name. UNC Charlotte, 32,000 students strong, ranked among the nation's top 75 public universities, recognized at the highest level for research, unmatched access to Fortune 500 companies, built for a top-tier city. This isn't typical higher ed. The difference is scale. The difference is momentum. The difference is Charlotte, UNC Charlotte.
Panthers offense has struggled over the past few games with a combined 24 points in their final two losses to Seattle and Tampa. The LA Rams are one of the NFL's highest-scoring teams, but Carolina was able to outscore them 31-28 in late November. Bryce Young threw for 3 big touchdowns in the win, and Coach Dave Canales is looking forward to see what they can do in the rematch.
I'm so fired up for Bryce and for the whole crew, but these are the moments, and in my mind, when we've put Bryce into these high-stakes situations, he's performed well, whether it's going for it on 4th down, end-of-game type of stuff. It's an area where he just continues to execute and do the basics and the fundamentals that we ask him to, and so these games are like that.
Carolina ran the ball for 164 yards versus L.A. last time, but in last week's loss to the Buccaneers, they were held to 19 yards, and offensive lineman Austin Corbett says they're working to fix that.
Yeah, it's just a lot of making sure everybody's straining to finish blocks and understanding that the tape shows that we have a good run game, and so it's these defenses creating ways to stop it. And so being able to adjust, now I think at this point we've seen all the different defensive looks that you can get. So getting out there and just going to execute and letting Chuba and Rico do their thing.
I'm Jim Zoki on the Carolina Panthers Radio Network.
This Panther Update has been brought to you by UNC Charlotte, built for a top-tier city. The difference is Charlotte. UNC Charlotte.
All right, Panthers and Rams. Coming up, we've got our Westwood One Sports Bet MGM top plays later on in the show, and we've got a split decision. 2 of the hosts on the same game, but picking different teams. So we'll let you hear that. So I just pulled up the bar list that I had Dragon Ball do last summer. So he does not list a specific team under Bob Dobbs, so I don't know if it appears they don't necessarily cater as a, quote, Bears bar.
Okay, I don't know about you, but I've literally been to Bob Dobbs 250 times. Okay. And my experience
that's probably 200 more times than I've been.
It's always been a very U of A-centric kind of place, and I never really picked up on any kind of professional alignment, but who knows? Maybe that could have changed.
You had some interesting numbers on this rivalry.
Yeah, 210 times these two teams have played each other. Bears-Packers, that is. Yeah. It's by far the most games played between two franchises, obviously going back to the 20s. We all know about the history of the rivalry, but I was surprised to look it up. 212 times now at this point. So that's a lot of games for that's a lot of fans yelling at other fans, DK, because that's what tends to happen in that rivalry.
Whiskey Roads is the country bar by Foothills Mall.
Yeah,
and he actually does have them down here as Bears NFL. So I'm like I said, we went there last year, and there weren't a lot of Bears fans. It wasn't like our bar, like the Browns bar, where there were like 40, 50 people there. There was maybe like less than 10, but like maybe 6 to 10. But 6 to 10 Bears fans. So there were a few there, but it wasn't like a huge. I would think that I would think with the amount of, because again, I would imagine, and we've never, again, I've always talked about the numbers on this outside of California. Like I would imagine Illinois is probably the next, the state that brings in the most kids to go to the University of Arizona. So I would think a lot of those kids, maybe if they stay here in the community, so there would be a large segment of Chicagoans and Illinoisans that live here.
Also a huge number of retirees. So like when the Diamondbacks first started, DK, their attendance wasn't great, but when Chicago came through town, when the Cubs were in town, they would always sell out Diamondbacks games. So that's always been the case. What I also know to be true is that there's a lot of really nice backyards in Tucson, and retirees tend to have the ability to have a nice big backyard.
My wife's Packer friend. She has a huge backyard.
Love to bust out the barbecue, and so I'm sure there are many residents in Tucson, DK, that will be holding a lot of game watching parties.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I remember back in the Famous Sam's era, every single bar in Tucson had some kind of professional allegiance, but I think that it's not quite as the same as it maybe once.
One of those closed recently. Everybody was crying about it. I was like, I think it was maybe the one on Valencia. I think might have closed Famous Sam's in recent days and recent weeks. And it was like, you should have seen it. It was just like, I talked about going down the rabbit hole yesterday on Instagram, on videos. Like that was like, it was just like people like reminiscing about all their years hanging out at this Famous Sam's and the people that they met there and the boys and girls they dated from there. It was actually it was on Facebook. It was actually a very interesting thread of that. All right, go ahead.
I was going to say, nowadays, I mean, there's a lot of mom and pops, a lot of like startup type of, individual bar business around Tucson. You'll find that everywhere. But back in the 80s, 90s, they did it by numbers. So it was Famous Sam's 22, Famous Sam's 29, and all of that. And they were basically in every neighborhood. You just described it. They were neighborhood bars that everybody went down to after work or to watch the game or whatever. So definitely, and to play pool. A lot of pool going on. So definitely camaraderie and a neighborhood type of thing.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you came. Coming up next, we're going to talk some Pima basketball. Brian Peabody. Speaking of Bob Dobbs, you might see Brian. If you ever want to meet the famed coach at Pima College,
I've met him.
You could find him at Bob Dobbs. I think that's his favorite place in town. Now that I'm speaking,
I was lucky enough to meet Coach Peabody
in high school. Yeah.
Yes,
you played for him.
I did. I sat on the bench for him.
Have you ever had a beer with him at Bob Dobbs?
I've never had a beer with him, period.
Okay.
Busy guy. Coaches are busy.
Make that happen.
Coaches are busy.
We got to find out. I'm going to ask next time we talk to Coach Peabody. I'm going to say, Coach, when are you going to be at Bob Dobbs next? And we'll go down and have a beer with him.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I think we're going to make that happen for you, J-Dub, for sure. Before the end of this basketball season. All right, we're going to talk to one of his better players this year. Brock Mendoza is going to join us coming up. That's at about 3:45. So we'll get into a few other things in our next segment, and then we'll talk to Brock Mendoza. DK on the sports tip. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Catalina Highway closed at the base, and that's mostly due to winter weather-like conditions. But when the mountain reopens, it will be accessible to with vehicles that have chains and or four-wheel drive. Collisions reported Sunrise and Craycroft eastbound slowing. Prudence and Broadway clearing. Also collision Broadway near Swan. Slow down southbound, eastbound, and westbound at Swan and Broadway. Weather-wise, freeze warning in effect until 9 a.m. tomorrow, 33 the low, 58 sunny skies tomorrow, 52 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International. Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
As the new year begins, Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing would like to thank you for allowing us to serve Tucson and the surrounding communities for the past 25 years. Whether it is a small water leak or a full air conditioning replacement, we do it all, big or small. For professional service, call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
He's coming. Here he comes. Surprise! Your table saw broke. Also, the warranty expired weeks ago, so you need to pay for a new one out of pocket.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Oh, and the replacement part you ordered doesn't fit, so it's completely useless. What a waste.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Wildcat fans, where do you go when the final buzzer sounds? You don't head home. You head to Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies, Tucson's home court for great food, craft beer, and nonstop fun. At Roadies, you can bowl, throw an axe, play arcade games, or grab a burger while the next game plays on the massive screens. Then, catch the newest movies right next door at Roadhouse Cinemas with luxury recliners and full in-seat dining. Game days, movie nights, anytime. Make it a win at Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies on the corner of Grant and Swan.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Join David Kelly this Wednesday from 3 to 6 at Showtime Cards for Wild Card Wednesdays. Showtime Cards will have live box breaks happening right in the store. You never know what pulls might pop up. Whether you're into baseball, football, basketball, soccer, MMA, comics, Pokemon, Star Wars, or anything in between, Showtime Cards has something for every collector. Catch all the action this Wednesday, 3 to 6 at Showtime Cards, located on Speedway just east of Craycroft, with Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Hey, I'm Chris Van Vliet, host of the #1 podcast, Insight with Chris Van Vliet. On the show, I sit down with the biggest names in pro wrestling, sports, film, and beyond. These are real, long-form conversations that go behind the scenes and beyond the headlines with people like John Cena, The Undertaker, Cody Rhodes, and more. We talk mindset, motivation, and what it takes to succeed. This is Insight with Chris Van Vliet. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We're going to be talking some Pima College basketball this segment. We mentioned Brian Peabody's crew. They are off to another fabulous start to the season. 16 wins, no losses so far. They are undefeated at home. They've played 13 of their 16 games so far this year at home, and they are 6-0 to start things off in the on the Division II side of the ACC. AC coming off a win against Mason, and to be quite honest with you, since they went to conference, only one of these games has been close, and that was the game against Scottsdale that they played on the road on December the 17th. They won that game by just 4 points. But all the other games in conference play so far have been blowouts. They won at Phoenix by 34 points. Then they won at South Mountain by 21. Modest, nothing great. 21 there. A 9-point win at home against Glendale. So, close game there. Close game against Glendale. And then the last two games, they beat Chandler Gilbert at home by 25 points, and then a 30-point win over Mesa on Wednesday. They're in the midst, actually, of a nice stretch of games here at home because they played the Winter Classic, which is their over the Christmas holiday tournament. So they played 3 games in that tournament, won by a lot, and now they've got 5 straight conference games at home. Chandler Gilbert and Mesa, they've already played this past week. They'll be at home again this week against Community Christian. Actually, Community Christian might not be. I don't think that's a home, conference game. But so 5 straight home games, 4 conference games. After that, Scottsdale will come in next Wednesday, and then the rematch against Phoenix College will be the week after that, Saturday after that on the 17th, before they head back out onto the road. So again, 16-0 is the record. And let's talk to one of the young men right now who has helped Brian Peabody get to this point in the season. His name is Brock Mendoza. He is a center. He is from Layton, Utah, Layton High School, and he joins us now. Brock, appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us. You're the big guy on the team, 6'11". Walk us through kind of your role in Brian Peabody's offense and how you've been able to to be one of the primary players on this year's squad.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. This year, just a lot of rebounding and trying to have a good presence in the paint offensively, dunking, layups, and, just trying to get the system flowing and just most of all giving a lot of effort.
Now, I have to say, your nickname is Breezy. Where did that come from?
I don't know. I mean, just the guys on the team kind of started calling me that when I first came here. So
okay, so that's not a nickname that you brought with you. That's a new nickname.
Yep, just got to hear.
Okay, so any idea? I mean, do you just like flow through the lane? Do you got some handles and you can dribble the ball too when you about 10 feet out and you can just kind of spin and glide into the basket? Where do you think that that came from?
I don't know. I like to think I'm light on my feet for my size, but hopefully some sort of that stemmed from that. So I don't know, but that was them. So.
I mentioned you are from Layton, Utah. I always like to find out because obviously we got kids that are from different parts of the country as well to go along with some of the kids that are from Arizona. How did you find this program, or how did this program find you?
Yeah, Coach Flan just contacted me my senior year and got me out here for the visit, started recruiting me. I came out here and thought this was the right place to be.
Okay, so what have you kind of liked about this? You came because this is your sophomore. You played. This is your second year, right? You didn't redshirt a year, correct?
No, I did redshirt.
Oh, so this is your third year in the program then?
Yep.
Okay, so what was that first year like when you came out here and just kind of had to practice and watch some of those older guys and to kind of learn how to play at this level?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just coming out of high school, had a little bit of a knee injury. And I wanted to get fully healthy in the summer, had a surgery to get it all cleaned up. And then having that redshirt year really was good for me health-wise, got stronger, and was able to adjust to the college game. So, and then there was also a lot of good guys on the team that year. And I felt like that would help my game every day just playing against them.
And then last year, you didn't get to play a whole lot. I mean, 29 games, you only averaged 4 minutes, but you've been able to make that jump into the starting role this year. What was it that allowed you? What were some of the things you wanted to work on coming off your guys' run to the national tournament last year that you wanted to kind of use to propel yourself into a starting position this year?
I think just continuing to work hard every single day. When I first came here and redshirted, I just wanted to tell myself that if I worked as hard as possible, then I could live with the results. So, every day I've been here, Coach pushes us and is always on us to get better. So I'm going to continue to do that. And, this really was my whole mentality this offseason.
Who were some of the, when you first got here, who were some of the young guys on that, or I'm sorry, the older guys or sophomores on that team a couple years ago that really kind of helped set you up for success?
One of my roommates, his name was Tanner Peschel.
Mm-hmm.
He was a good player that year. Also, Gabe Oldham was on the team the past few years. He was our starting center. He pushed me every day. Wes Ball, Dylan Alexander, these are other bigs that were starting for us the last few years, and just working against them helped.
What do you love most about this system? I mean, we talk about it all the time that, the goal is to get to 100 points in any Brian Peabody game that Peabody's coaching. But you were probably here a couple of years. I think it was last year. I think it was last year. He's not afraid. I remember I was at a game, I think it was at a game last year, where he literally took 3 timeouts in like 2 minutes, like because you guys weren't playing defense. So he's not afraid to. He likes to score, but he's not afraid to put the brakes on when this team is not defending the way that he wants you guys to defend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think my favorite part about the system is just it's meant for everyone to be unselfish and the ball to have energy and find good shots every time. And then we just want to play high pace and put the score up too. But, we don't want to just give up easy buckets. So we want to compete on both ends of the floor.
We're joined by Brock Mendoza. He is a center for the Pima Aztecs, 6'10", out of Layton, Utah this season so far, averaging a double-double. I mean, that's not an easy thing to do, but he's been performing at a high level, averaging about 14 minutes per game, scoring at a rate of 15. So you're only playing 14 minutes, and you're averaging 15 points? Is that correct?
I guess. It feels like I'm playing more than 14, but sometimes in the games that get a little out of hand, we sub out early. So.
There you go. And there's a lot of those. There's definitely a lot of those, for sure. This level, the ACCAC, this level of junior college basketball, what have you found, difficult about it?
It's just competition and every man for himself. You got to really work for everything you get. You got to earn it.
Who are some of the other guys on this team this year, Brock, that are really helping you guys get to this point where you have not lost a game so far?
It's been our whole team, top to bottom, honestly. Every guy who shows up to practice every day, including all the red shirts and them. But, obviously we got guys who would depend on Isaac Johnson and Mason Hunt are 2 other great wings for us right now, 2 of our leading scorers. And then we got our point guard, Isaiah Hill. He's been performing really well for us too. So
now Isaiah is just a freshman. How's he been able to come in and kind of put his foot down quickly?
Yeah, I think he's been good. He just always plays with a lot of effort and has played unselfish and has really been a good teammate.
And you mentioned Mason Hunt back from last year's team. I mean, this was a guy that really showed an ability to score from up in just a little bit north of the Phoenix area. When you watch Mason play, what really stands out to you about the way he carries himself on the floor?
I think he's just got a really positive mindset. He's always focusing on the next play, and he's got a lot of talent. He's always able to get his shot off. So.
All right, so going back to Brian Peabody, obviously 16-0, a lot of things to be happy about, but where do you think he wants this team, or where has he told you guys that he wants to see the most improvement as you guys now get into the meat of conference and start to head towards what we hope will be an eventual return to the national tournament?
Yeah, we really just want to focus on defense and not giving up easy breakdowns and transition and things of that nature. So we really want to tidy some things up and continue to win.
What was that like for you last year to get a chance to take that trip back to nationals?
It was good. I mean, every time you go there, it's a good experience. It's a whole different vibe from what we experience here. So I'm glad I get to have been able to go there and know what it's like.
Now, that team last year was pretty good, 35-1. We talked about it, one of the best teams that Peabody has ever had. Is this team better?
I don't know. It's not for me to say who's better. Maybe in a different universe we could play each other.
Let me rephrase that then. How is this team different than that team last year that went 35-1?
I think we're all just trying to make an identity for ourselves. We don't want to feel any entitlement to any teams in the past, what they have done. We know that there's going to be a target on our back, and every night we just got to compete no matter what people before us have done.
What was that like? Because, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you may have been on a team like that in the past, but, I'd imagine a lot of guys have maybe never been on a team that's won 34 games in a row. What was that? What was the locker room like after you guys lost that game to Parkland last year?
It was rough. You know, we were all competitive. We wanted to win that game and win the title. But, you know, honestly, after that loss, it was no different than really how we reacted to adversity the whole year. It was, we were just picking each other up. So I think that's just what was special about that team.
There you go. That's what you got to do. You got to pick your brother up for sure. Hey, Brock, appreciate you taking some time to join us. Continued success this year. Let's roll off 36 and get that trophy back here. What do you think?
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. I'll try my best.
There we go. Brock Mendoza, sophomore center for the undefeated Pima men's basketball team. They'll be back at the West Gym tomorrow. And actually, both the men and the women will be on the floor tomorrow. So a chance to see some basketball over at the West Gym. The fellas will be taking on Community Christian. Early game tomorrow. So they'll be playing at noon. Will the men, let me see here. Actually, I don't know if the women, I think the women play tomorrow. Let me check my schedule real quick here. And actually, the women were supposed to play a game today at home against Arizona Christian. I mentioned that yesterday, that game got canceled. So it's just the men tomorrow against Community Christian with tip-off at noon.
Canceling basketball games so hot right now. The NBA game in Miami, or they're watery, icy
I saw
court.
that yesterday.
Yeah.
It was the last game they played there. They had condensation, I saw.
And they were out wiping down the floor, trying to get it going, and the refs just had to call it at the end.
Yeah, that's rough. It's it's humid in Miami this time of year too. Let me tell you. DKL the Sports Tip. We've got much more coming up for you in the 4 o'clock hour. We're going to talk some Arizona men's basketball. Brian Estridge is the voice of the TCU Horned Frogs. He will join us, and we'll get you set for tomorrow's game between the Horned Frogs and the #1 undefeated Wildcats. How about that? Undefeated U of A basketball. Undefeated Pima basketball. Is there a city in the nation where you can get better college basketball than in Tucson? I don't think so. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Broadway and Swan and Broadway overturned vehicle backups at the intersection. Other collisions at Prudence and Broadway, also Sunrise Drive and Craycroft. The Mount Lemmon Highway has now reopened, but only accessible to vehicles that have chains or four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Freeze warning in effect until 9 tomorrow morning, through 33 the overnight low, 58 sunny skies tomorrow, and 52 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
Celebrate Happy Honda Days at AutoNation Honda Tucson. Save up to $7,500 on pilots, leases starting at $399 a month, and enjoy incredible rates on 2025 and 2026 models. Visit us off Wetmore and Automall Drive today.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International. Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
They say time flies like a sparrow.
And fruit flies like a banana. We're off to a great start.
If you two don't mind, I'd like to tell our customers about something they won't do in 2026.
I'm not doing a lot of things, like changing your socks.
Guys, I'm talking about no payments or interest for a full year on a new system.
Oh, people are going to like that. You should tell them.
As I was saying, Alaskan AC can install a brand new heating and air system and have no payments or interest for a year.
365 days. 12 months.
You'll get all the comfort, and you won't write a check for a whole year.
Ha! Ron still writes checks. He's so old, the first picture of him was an oil painting.
You guys having fun?
I never have fun. I'm having a little fun.
This is big. With approved credit, get a spanking new furnace and AC system. No payments or interest for a year.
Spanking new? Ron talks old-timey.
Schedule your appointment today, whenever you want, online at AlaskanAC.com.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
Just my next greatest idea ever.
Playing the lottery?
That's right, Doug. With all my winnings, I can enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally fix your car right. No more disasters, Doug. Your luck is about to change.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck, Eugene. But if you need a sure thing for your next set of tires or automotive repair, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. With more than 35 Top Shop awards and our Partners Network 3-year nationwide warranty, you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
And check out this month's special savings.
You'll find an entire page of them online at jackfurriers.com. Savings on tires, oil changes, batteries, wheel alignments, and more.
So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by any of our 14 area locations.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply by February 11th and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
We are the rush, the pulse, the thrill you didn't see coming. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol, where Tucson's best just got better. Join Club Soul today and get $20 free play. That's right, your first play is on us. Play, earn, and unlock exclusive rewards that take your experience to the next level. More thrills, more perks, more of what makes Casino del Sol unforgettable. We are Club Soul, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
Nobody covers your cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hour number 2 of our show, full show, 3 hours today. Want to hear from you, 520-848-1290. I want to continue on this whole thing. Tucson, as our guy Bob Elliott coined it, Tucson, a basketball town, in the book that he wrote, because it has been that now for about the last 5 or 6 years. When one of the things we would always point out when I was on television here in the market is we got to a point where all 4 of the college basketball teams were ranked. Both Arizona men and women were ranked. Both Pima men and women were ranked. And that it's a very special town when you can get that type of college basketball. Right now you've got 3 of those 4 teams ranked. Obviously the Arizona women probably are not going to get to that point this year in this first year under Becky Burke. Hopefully they can get back to what we'll have. Yeah,
I mean, come on.
Where we'll have 4 teams. Yeah, you beat BYU at home. That's a great first start.
Yeah.
And then they got a chance to win back-to-back games because Central Florida is not coming in here with a whole lot tomorrow.
I don't mean this year. I think it's going to be tough with, having every new player in the rotation new to campus. However, I just love her style, and I love everything she has to say and the way that she coaches her players. So they'll get to the top 25.
But looking at these numbers for the Pima men, I mean, Jada, it's astonishing. Like, I was kind of floored when I said to Brock. So Brock Mendoza, who we just had on the program, check it out. It'll be up on our website a little bit later, Wildcats Radio 1290. He's averaging 15 points and 11 rebounds in 14 minutes. And I pulled up the team stats. Peabody doesn't have a player on this team that's playing more than 20 minutes. I mean, the most Mason Hunt play, and then again, I guess when you beat teams 130-60, you can roll this out. He has 10 guys. 10, make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Nine guys playing 10 or more minutes.
And it's smart. I mean,
on
that's
this
been
team.
his style more recently is a 10-man rotation, right? But it's smart if you think about it, DK, in that they're only sophomores or freshmen.
Yeah.
So in a standard 4-year college, you might have a 20-point lead with 5 minutes left. You want to get one of your freshmen who's the 10th, 11th guy on the bench a little bit of experience. Well, Coach Peabody, he's out to these 40, 50-point leads so often, DK, that he has the luxury of getting some of those newer guys or guys he's going to maybe need to depend on next year, some real game experience going into that. So playing that many players at that pace they do, I mean, not surprising. I did have to look at it myself, and I was going to say the same thing. Mason Hunt at 18 minutes a game leads them, and those are 40-minute games, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's got five guys averaging more points than minutes on this team. Mason Hunt, 21 points in 18 minutes. Isaac Johnson, 19 points in 15 minutes. Mendoza, 15 points in 14 minutes. Isaiah Hill, 15 points, 15.1 and 14.5, so 15 for 15. And then Kai Green, 12 points in 9 minutes. That's insane. That is insane. That again, but that's not necessarily unusual for a Brian Peabody style team. I don't know that I've seen the numbers like that though before, where you have so many different guys, the level of guys playing that many minutes. And being able to score at such a fast rate over the minutes.
You didn't even mention the most outrageous stat, which is team stat, which is 29.5 assists per game.
Yeah.
29.5 assists per game and a plus 25 per game rebound margin. So, yeah, they're turning teams over. They're obviously getting out and running a lot and really finding teammates. Like you heard Brock say there, it's a big part of the culture is enjoying setting your teammates up for an easy bucket. And when that's contagious, I mean, and you got 10 guys in the rotation, DK, with the great coach like Brian Peabody, you get 40-point wins, you get everybody in the game. Everybody's happy.
Averaging 120 points and shooting 62% from the field so far this season. Now, again, I mentioned they are 16-0. I don't know. I mean, I've not had a chance. Unfortunately, I've not had a chance to get up there yet this year and see them play. So as it relates to last year's team, we'll have to ask Peabody when we talk to him. Hopefully we'll get him on maybe in the next couple of weeks. And we'll ask him, so how does this, what we just asked Brock Mendoza, how does this team compare to last year's team? Because I would imagine they are the class of, again, in NJC, in the ACCAC now, the Division 2s and 1s don't cross over and play in league. So I could conceivably see this team being undefeated again going into the national tournament. And so they could very well run off another 34-0 or 35-0, getting to the final stages of nationals.
We should have asked Brock Mendoza how coach's voice is, because generally 16 games in, it's a little hoarser than it is at the start of the season.
No question about that. No question about. I mentioned that obviously both of these teams are still ranked when you talk about the Pima men and the Pima women, and so it's fun. It's fun to see that these two teams up on West Anklam Road are continuing to put out high quality basketball products under two tremendous head coaches in Todd Holdhouse and Brian Peabody. So get on up there. Get on up. I would say get on up to West Anklam Road and check those teams out, because they are as deserving of your time as the University of Arizona teams are as well. So if you've seen a game, 520-848-1290. If you've seen one of the games this year, men or women, want to hear what you think about the Aztecs on both sides. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. All right, coming up later in this hour, we're going to talk some Arizona men's basketball as Brian Estridge will join us. Well, we'll talk some TCU, really, but that is the team that the Wildcats are playing in Fort Worth. Just the fifth time these two teams have ever played in basketball. That game will be tomorrow. So we'll pick Brian's brain about what this Horned Frogs team is all about.
Is Eddie Lampkin suiting up?
He is not.
I didn't think so.
Neither is Christian Koloko.
He transferred.
That was one battle between those two guys. I was there. That was San Diego.
Great game. What a great game that was.
Oh,
back and forth. Probably maybe the best modern dunk in U of A basketball history from Benedict Mathurin and the big three, right? Like, didn't he have like a 25-footer just to tie the game late? Yeah, what a great game.
I mean, that was definitely something to see that year. in San Diego. It was, in fact, this past weekend was the first time that I had gone back to San Diego since that run that they had that year, and it was absolutely fun to watch that particular game. That was a game they were down, so it was very nervous. It was nervous. The Wildcats were like, "Oh my gosh, are they going to be able to rally back?" And they were able to do that.
That was the Big 12 preview NCAA tournament, right? Because they played Houston, didn't they, as well?
Yeah. The Houston was the next game, I think.
Right, so they played both TCU and Houston.
Yeah.
Both very similar styles that we're seeing right now that we're in the conference.
Yeah. In fact, people will say it was the Houston game that set the tone for how Tommy felt like he needed to recruit his teams to be able to compete, knowing he was going into the Big 12
Well, remember, then that wasn't his class. Those weren't his players for the most part, right?
Right,
So, I mean,
exactly.
there was a few guys he brought in, but a lot of those were carryover guys. But definitely the shift. I mean, you're playing in the Pac-10, Pac-12 for so many years, DK. There's a lot of teams that like to get out and run with athletes, skinnier athletes, but you just can't necessarily win all the time with that style in the Big 12. So there was no doubt that the defensive intensity that the Houston Cougars put on Arizona that year, 5 years ago, was a huge part in the style that they're playing today, because you have to be able to match the physicality of teams like TCU and Houston. And so far, it's really the other way around, right? So far, other teams have to match Arizona's physicality because they might as well be the most physical team in the country.
Let's see. Let's talk a little bit about, obviously it's Friday night, so we've got high school basketball going in. We haven't really gotten into that yet this year, and it is an opportunity for us just to shout out, some of the teams that are off to good starts around Southern Arizona, maybe some teams that you definitely need to go out and see play some high school basketball. The meat of the season, there's some tournaments and stuff that go on right around the Christmas time, but now pretty much everybody is back, and we're starting to get into league play, and so there's definitely an opportunity for you to get out there and see some of your favorite teams across Southern Arizona.
I learned something yesterday about one of our family members here at Cumulus Media.
Oh, yes.
Riley.
Yeah.
She played basketball at Friends University. She didn't play there for very long.
Yes.
But her sister is a coach apparently at Sabino now.
Yeah.
So is a coach with the women's team over there.
Well, that's what I think they graduated from Sabino.
I told Riley.
She was on that state championship team.
Exactly. Yeah. I told Riley, we got to try to get your sister on. If you ever want to come in the studio and talk some basketball with us, you're more than welcome.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, they're twins?
Yes. Well, I don't know if she has multiple sisters. I know she does have a twin, yes.
Okay. So, yeah, there you go. That was I remember that Sabino team that won the state title. That was a really, really good team. So tonight you've got Pushridge Christian Academy, 10-3. They're home tonight to Nogales at 7:00. Get on out there and then check them out. Let's see who else we got. St. Gregory, 7-7. St. Gregory's interesting because they I know you're a Greenfields guy.
Well, I was before Greenfield shut down.
Yeah, exactly. Because they play a very difficult non-conference schedule at times.
Yeah,
so they 7-7. They were kind of around that mark last year, and then they went on another march into state, and they generally do pretty well. So seeing them at 7-7 at this point of the year is not necessarily unusual because they usually have play a pretty tough schedule and do well once they get back into their conference.
When Coach Brian Peabody was my coach in high school, we were a school of like 250 total. And we played CDO, and we played Saguaro, and we played, I want to say, Choya. Like, we played a lot of the 4A, 5A schools in the preseason. I don't think we won any of those games. I think that was like an era where Greenfields had won back-to-back state championships and had been to the finals 3 out of 4 years, 4 years in a row, something like that. So really good quality team, but 1A versus 4A. But there was no doubt that St. Greg's and Greenfields, at the time anyway, were the two biggest small school basketball schools around, always tried to take on the challenge of playing some bigger schools in the non-conference.
Buena's off to an 8-2 start on the boys' side. They'll be at Amphi tonight. That's a 6:30 game. The kids from my neighborhood, Catalina Foothills, are 8-5. They are home against Rincon this evening. Those are a few games on the boys' side. In terms of the girls' side, Saguaro, always great as well. They're 10-6. They'll host Choya. Choya has yet to win, though, yet this season. Who else we got here tonight locally? Right around the corner, our kids from the CNWT, Flowing Wells. I don't know if you've ever been over there and seen a girls game, but it is a fun place to go watch some girls basketball. Flowing Wells 11-6, and they'll face off against Cienega, who comes in at 10-6. So that should be a pretty good ball game. Both those teams right now are top 10 in terms of the Max Preps ranking in Southern Arizona. But the game tonight is on the south side. Number 1 here in Southern Arizona, South Point Catholic. Number 2, Sunnyside. Lancers 13-1. Blue Devils 14-1. That's a 7:00 tip tonight down at Sunnyside High School. Lancers and Blue Devils on the girls' side. That is your top high school basketball game tonight here in Southern Arizona.
Jermaine Watts, man. Deron Johnson, too.
Yeah.
A lot of great Sunnyside greats over the years.
There you go. Check that out. All right, DK on the Sports Tip, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. We are going to give you your Westwood One top plays coming up next. Who you should be betting. There's a game tonight. I got one there. We've got a split decision on one of the NFL playoff games. We'll give you that as well. Cricket is giving you how to get home safely every 20 minutes on the 5.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Backups on southbound La Cholla at Ajo, more slowing Ajo and Mission, southbound and westbound. Crashes reported Broadway and Swan. A rollover wreck slowing at the intersection Swan and Broadway. Craycroft and Sunrise clearing. Crash at 12th Avenue in Valencia, Midtown, Speedway, and Campbell. Freeze warning in effect until 9 a.m. tomorrow. 33 our overnight low, 58 sunny tomorrow, and 51 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International. Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
What's that song that goes ba-da-da-da-da-da-da?
You mean la-di-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee?
No, he's talking about bum, 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 bum. No, that's not it.
All right, guys, we don't have time for this. Furnaces are breaking down, and we promise we'll be there in one day.
That's it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, that song.
One of my favorites. If you have a problem today, Alaskan AC will get to you within one day.
If we don't, the whole repair is free, no matter how much.
So good, people are singing about it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Reminds me of that other song that goes boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom.
I've never heard that.
Well, you're not as cultured as me. You have about as much culture as a bowl of yogurt.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
AlaskanAC.com.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
Just my next greatest idea ever.
Playing the lottery?
That's right, Doug. With all my winnings, I can enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally fix your car right. No more disasters, Doug. Your luck is about to change.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck, Eugene. But if you need a sure thing for your next set of tires or automotive repair, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. With more than 35 Top Shop awards and our Partners Network 3-year nationwide warranty, you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
And check out this month's special savings.
You'll find an entire page of them online at jackfurriers.com. Savings on tires, oil changes, batteries, wheel alignments, and more.
So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by any of our 14 area locations.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put member success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
I'm Omar Reese with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. There's now an 8th team in need of a new head coach for 2026. The Dolphins have fired Mike McDaniel after 4 seasons. He finishes with a 35-33 record and 2 playoff appearances, but failed to reach the postseason these past 2 seasons. Miami will now be searching for both a new head coach and general manager. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers have fired offensive coordinator Josh Grizzard after 1 season in that position. Tampa's offense fell off significantly this year, finishing 21st in yards per game and 18th in points per game after ending 2024 season in 3rd and 4th in those categories. Elsewhere, Rams receiver Devontae Adams has no injury designation for Saturday's wildcard matchup with the Panthers. Adams has missed the last 3 games with the hamstring injury. And Bears receivers Rome Odunze and DJ Moore also good to go after being limited in practice this week for their game against the Packers. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you can put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
The Knicks are in town to take on the Suns tonight.
Caruso defending. Booker eyes the clock. Suns spreading the floor. Book raising up. Fires. Boom! Boom! Goes Booker! 0.7 left.
That was Booker's shot to beat the Thunder just a few weeks ago. We talked about this Phoenix Suns team, 22-15. They are 2 games out of first place in the Pacific Division. They are in the 7th seed spot currently in the Western Conference, and now they get the Knicks. The Knicks have been struggling a bit. They'd lost 4 games in a row, but they were able to beat the Clippers on Wednesday night to snap that streak, so they come in on a winning note. And this was a Suns team again. We talked to Daryl Joyner, our 1290 Suns reporter, yesterday, and I don't think anybody, if you had the Suns 2 games out of first place on January the 9th, then you should be filling your pockets with money. right now.
They are, because as we said yesterday, they had a 31.5 over-under on win total this year, and they've got 22. They're 9 away from their win total. I don't think they could get there before the All-Star break, but not too far after, they'll break that record. They'll break that number.
Matt Ishbia obviously is the owner. He cleaned house once again this offseason. He has made a habit of cleaning house in his young tenure as an owner here in the National Basketball Association. He landed on Jordan Ott, a young coach, a young assistant coach from Cleveland who'd never been a head coach, maybe trying to follow the mantra of the Oklahoma City Thunder, who hired a young G League style coach. That seems to kind of be what we're seeing a little bit with some of these teams now in the National Basketball Association. The young hot assistant route seems to have worked with a couple of teams. Nobody, though, thought this team was going to be any good, and they again, they're not going to win. I don't know that they're going to win the Western Conference, but they may have a say in who does. Matt Ishbia talked on I believe it's 98.7, the Arizona Sports, about when he knew his team would be competitive this season.
I love Phoenix, and we got to do the right thing, and I think that's the first step, is creating a culture and identity. And so I actually knew it back in the summer when we started, when we said, hey, listen, we got to tear this thing and do it the right way with an identity, and I knew that every decision, from who we hired, from the GM to the coach to the assistant coaches to which players we decided to keep and not keep, to which players we added and subtracted, like all that mattered. And so did I know it would be as good this quickly? Maybe not, but I didn't think the results might not be as quickly, but I definitely believed in the concept and the idea, and the results have been great. The city seems happy. The players are loving it, and everything's going great right now. But we're only 37 games in. We got to keep stacking it, keep building, but I feel really good about the direction we're going now.
No, well, he's nothing but exciting when he talks about his team. Yeah. For sure. And he absolutely needed this because, again, I think a lot of people were thinking maybe this was going to be a bottom out year, and it has not been that so far for this club. And again, it's been surprising, but yet fun to watch.
It's a big, like, rock and hard place because obviously Matt Ishbia as an owner came in with the Michigan State ties, started hiring a lot of Michigan State people. But it's not in a vacuum, DK. It's in a situation where Devin Booker, the all-time leading scorer in Suns history, in his 11 seasons up there in Phoenix, has already had 8. This is his 8th head coach. 8 head coaches. And 6 GMs? So there has to be some level of stability. I understand Matt Ishbia has always been in a win now. We all remember the quote from last year where he said draft picks are just to get capital to win now. And that's when you've got Bradley Beal and an aging Kevin Durant on your roster. Going with somewhat of a younger roster, and obviously with the additions of Dylan Brooks and some of the role players kind of stepping into their own, including Colin Gillespie, Matt Ishbia, there's a fan base, DK, who expects winning, proud fan base, but they're sick of firings as well, right? Because enough's enough. I mean, you got to give Devin Booker enough time to mesh with the system and a coach and a group of people. We've seen the success when we just saw it 5 years ago. They went to the finals, right? But I hope that I really like what Jordan Knott's doing, and I hope Matt Ishbia gives him a long leash and lets him get settled in his first year of head coaching. Great success now. I just want to see Devin Booker have some consistency in the front office and the coaching staff.
He mentioned in that first cut we heard just talking about the culture, and I'm not sure we really knew what the culture was going to be moving forward with this team. It felt like a bad culture, obviously, coming out of last season and where they were, and the fact that he's made so many changes early on and changes that haven't worked, and there were people starting to question whether he was the guy that could get this done for this franchise. He came in with a lot of fanfare. There was a lot of excitement about him, a guy with a basketball background.
The other thing I didn't mention is Sarver was a little bit of a penny pincher, right? So like the Suns fans were used to having free agents exodus. So the Suns fans are used to having an ownership group that weren't necessarily willing to pay the high premiums to keep great players. So when Matt Ishbia came in and he said, money's no object, I'm going to spend whatever we need to spend to get it done here, Suns fans were over the moon. Yeah. I mean, that's what they've been wanting to hear for a long time.
Let's hear from Matt Ishbia on really how he wanted to create this or remold the culture from the culture that he had created initially.
You can listen to the success 22-15 without Jalen Green all year. That's different than what I would have expected.
Okay.
Now, not because I believe in the team, but because it takes time for a new team to gel. We have a lot of young players. A lot of guys are stepping up, and some guys are doing more than we expected, and that's fantastic. And some guys are doing exactly what we expected, and that's fantastic. But the key has been we set the identity, and the players are bought in. The coach is fantastic. The GM is fantastic. The CEO is fantastic. Everyone's bought in, and we're all living it together. I know everyone joked about us saying we're aligned, but that's what we are. We're all aligned on what we're trying to accomplish, and I think the fans are seeing it. We have a belief system around player development and around getting players better. Just because who you think they are doesn't mean who they're going to be. And some players get better, some people regress. And the work that they put in this summer, from the minute we hired them to a lot of the guys, Oso, Ryan, Colin, a lot of these guys were there all summer working. Not like going off all over the world. They were there working and like building that and developing that. And that's not just in the off season, it's during the season. And so getting better every day. The assistant coaches are aligned. They all have different focus with each player. Each player has goals, focuses, and that's what we're working towards. And it doesn't always work perfectly, but we're on a path and a trajectory that we all feel good about.
I mean, obviously, we've talked about how he's changed coaches, left and right since he's been here. But the big, I think, change was obviously bringing in Brian Gregory. That's been maybe the one major piece, because again, he bought the team and he inherited James Jones and he kept James Jones around. Sometimes when you're a leader of that ilk, you've got that immediate lieutenant below you has to be your guy. And I think maybe he feels like he finally has his guy in Brian Gregory to run this basketball operation. And that's maybe part of this, quote, culture change, even though there were a lot of people. And again, we're only 37 games in. This whole thing could blow up again like it's done in the past. But there were a lot of people that poo-pooed the hiring of Brian Gregory as being just another Michigan State guy that necessarily didn't have a lot of experience in the job he was about to take on.
No experience. That's the thing, is that no experience as a GM, and then Coach Ott, no experience as a head coach. And you mentioned that is a bit of a trend in the NBA. You've also seen a lot of great legendary coaches like Popovich get age out and leave the game. So there has to be a next crew. I think it's hard because there's the Jera model where you've got an owner who is so hands-on, you're not necessarily sure exactly whose decision is whose and who's making what. But I like to think that Matt Ishbia likes to surround himself with like-minded people, clearly a lot of Michigan State guys, but guys who all are on the same page to try to make it a winning franchise. A lot of sad Suns fans. Probably the one franchise in the NBA, DK, who should have won an NBA title at some point and hasn't, right? They're the one team. They've been close so many different eras and so many just generations, just including the one with Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker from not too long ago. So having a brand new GM, having a brand new head coach come in, as long as all those guys are on the same page, to me, experience is less important than a group, a purposeful group that is all going down the same path and all making their own decisions based on a common goal and creating that culture. Having those players, those younger players especially, stay over the summer instead of on a yacht in the Caribbean, DK, says a lot about the commitment to those guys wanting to play as best together as possible. Individual skill is important, and being able to play with other great players even more important.
Well, you mentioned the yachts because one of the things that and I don't know, I didn't see a lot of that this past summer, but Devin Booker, he was known to spend a lot of his summers on yachts, especially when he was dating the Kardashian girl.
It's a part of
for several summers. I remember they traveled the world.
It's contract. That's a part of the contract. If you're in the Kardashian dating circle, you have to spend your summers on a yacht.
On a yacht with cameras. Generally.
Exactly.
A lot of rumors recently. That another piece of the culture change has been the addition of Dylan Brooks. And we talked about that yesterday, how his mentality at the defensive end of the floor is really what this team has been missing the last couple of years since they traded Mikal Bridges and some of those other defensive stalwarts that helped them get to within 2 wins of an NBA Finals. But this is a different dude. This is not Mr. Nice Mikal Bridges. This is Mr. I'm gonna get up in your ass and make you kind of uncomfortable, Draymond Green kind of defender in Dylan Brooks.
He has always been an unapologetic jerk since his first day that he stepped on campus at Oregon. And like I said, we saw 3 years of Dylan Brooks up with the Ducks. So like we saw a lot of Dylan Brooks in the pack, but he's always been that way. He always will be that way. And that energy is so contagious. You can see all those guys playing at a different heightened level of defensive intensity, which is what Coach Ott is looking for.
So trade rumors that why in the world would you want to trade Dylan Brooks to the Lakers for Austin Reeves?
One thing, Austin Reeves, if you didn't know, is 27-10 this year.
Yeah.
He's injured right now, but Austin Reeves is basically all NBA level numbers right now that he's been putting up. So there is a reason for that. But with Dylan Brooks bringing that extra level of defensive intensity being a huge reason why they have turned it around this year, not so much.
All right, so let's hear from the owner on that rumor.
Zero chance we have any interest in trading Dylan Brooks. I just talked about identity and culture and leadership and grit and toughness. I mean, I'm defining the Suns, but it defines Dylan Brooks. Everything that we love about what the Phoenix Suns are doing right now, Dylan Brooks represents that. And by the way, so does Jordan Goodwin. I'll go through all the guys, Devin Booker. I can go through the guys, but Dylan Brooks we traded for a reason. And so, these guys online, I'm going to say we're going to trade this. I know they're trying to get clicks and all that stuff, but sometimes I see it and I just figure, let me just shut this nonsense down real quick, and that's what I did.
Yeah, he's that's the one thing. I mean, I've kind of questioned a lot of Matt Ishbia, what he's done here. But what I do like about Matt Ishbia is he is one of those owners that is not afraid to come out and talk and shut stuff down when he hears things. Where a lot of owners will just try to stay away out of the fray, let people talk and that kind of thing, and not respond to any of that. That is one of the things I absolutely love about Matt Ishbia.
No doubt. Oh, yeah, Dylan Brooks is the difference maker. And for the record, listeners, like I said about Austin Reeves, if you haven't paid attention, Austin Reeves, undrafted out of Arkansas, may very well, DK, go down as the greatest undrafted NBA player of all time, currently averaging 27 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds on 51% shooting from the field for a guard in the NBA. Just outrageous. I think this is his 3rd season. But Austin Reeves is an incredible young player. I just think that question of do you trade Dylan Brooks for him, such a shock reaction. Like, come on, just got Dylan Brooks. He's a big reason why the Suns are competitive this year. That's not happening. And I agree. I love that the owner took the time just for the one shutting down that rumor instantaneously from the source. Not going to happen.
All right, Suns and Knicks tonight, 7:00 tip-off up at the Mortgage Marketplace Fantasia Building of Excitement in downtown Phoenix. 520-848-1290 if you're a Suns fan, if you're going to the game tonight, if you're a Knicks fan going to the game tonight, I want to hear from you. 520-848-1290. We're going to talk some Arizona basketball coming up next. Brian Estridge is the voice of TCU, and we'll get his thoughts on the Horned Frogs, who will try to knock off the number 1 team in the country on Saturday. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions at a reported new wreck, Glen and Country Club in Glen, Orange Grove and First Avenue, McGee and La Cholla, Speedway in Campbell, 12th Avenue and Valencia. Also Broadway and Swan, that was an earlier overturned vehicle, Swan and Broadway, and there are slowdowns at that intersection. Freeze warning in effect until 9 tomorrow morning. 33 the overnight low, 58 sunny tomorrow, and 51 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International. Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CHEAP25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CHEAP25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code CHEAP25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
As the new year begins, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing would like to thank you for allowing us to serve Tucson and the surrounding communities for the past 25 years. Whether it is a small water leak or a full air conditioning replacement, we do it all, big or small. For professional service, call Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturerockscooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
From work to errands to family life, your car takes a beating. At Recon Auto Detailing, we don't just protect it, we maintain it.
They installed my ceramic coating in shop, and now their mobile team keeps it looking brand new, right in my driveway.
Ceramic coatings, PPF, tint, all installed professionally at Recon Auto Detailing. And with our mobile detailing, we keep that fresh, protected look mile after mile. One-stop shop, zero hassle, that's Recon Auto Detailing, Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
The holidays are over, and right now is the best time to start your home renovation project. At the Window Depot, you get factory direct prices, no installers, no middleman, and serious savings. Windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, all in stock and ready to take home today. Perfect for DIYers and contractors who want to save thousands and get materials fast. New year, new projects at the lowest prices. Shop online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
Just my next greatest idea ever.
Playing the lottery?
That's right, Doug. With all my winnings, I could enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally fix your car right. No more disasters, Doug. Your luck is about to change.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck, Eugene. But if you need a sure thing for your next set of tires or automotive repair, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. With more than 35 Top Shop awards and our Partners Network 3-year nationwide warranty, you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
And check out this month's special savings.
You'll find an entire page of them online at jackfurriers.com. Savings on tires, oil changes, batteries, wheel alignments, and more.
So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by any of our 14 area locations.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Out of a shotgun, works Seals. 3 down lineman for USC. Seals dumps it left. Payne breaks one tackle and two and dives forward. Still on his feet. Down the left-hand side to the 10, to the 5. Is he in bounds? Let's see. Signal is touchdown. Oh, there it is. Ken Seals, the deal here tonight. And the Horned Frogs have found the magic against USC one more time.
That voice you heard there was Brian Estridge with the call as TCU rallied from 10 down late in the Alamo Bowl, and they knocked off our former compadres from the Pac-12. the USC Trojans. Brian Estridge joins us now. Also, obviously, the play-by-play man for TCU basketball as well. Brian, that was one heck of an Alamo Bowl finish for you guys.
I tell you, the referee blew my call, though, man. You know, he's going to be
Yeah,
quiet
exactly.
during the middle of that. You know, yeah, it's enough for me to control my analysts, but now I got to control the referees as well. Yeah, it was an interesting finish to say the least. Good for the Big 12, right? Anytime you can get a W in a bowl game, it's a good thing. But I think it's an opportunity now, for the Big 12 to continue to grow and to build off of that, and hopefully TCU's a part of it, along with Arizona. And the two teams in Arizona, obviously, are going to be bell cows for this league for a while, and then whatever they're spending in Lubbock continues. And so at this point, let's continue to raise the bar for the league, right?
It's interesting. I always tell young broadcasters, especially now with the way that there's so many plays that come under review, I always tell them just call it as a touchdown. You can always go if they reverse it, because you can't go back and make the call again. So you might as well just make the call as a touchdown, and then whatever happens after that, you just deal with down the road. That's for sure.
I love it. I love it. That's good advice.
Absolutely. A tough one the other night over in Lawrence. You guys built that big lead up as many, I believe it was 15 in the second half. What kind of happened down the stretch that the Horned Frogs couldn't finish out that upset against Kansas?
Well, there's a phrase in the Big 12 that we use that you get field housed when you go to Kansas, and I think that's what happened.
Speaking of refs, right?
yeah. Well, no, I mean, hey, it wasn't the refs all. Frogs made a bunch of mistakes down the stretch, missed some key free throws, but the bottom line was the defense let them down. And this is a really good defensive team that Jamie Dixon has, but when you allow Kansas to score on 16 of their last 18 possessions, bad things are going to happen, and that's what it was. And the Frogs had dominated the glass for much of the game. Late in those final 4 minutes, that started to tighten up as well. We mentioned the missed free throws by TCU, front ends of 1-and-1s. I think they only made 2 of their last 8 free throws, something along that line. All that starts to just add up, and on the road, you know how it is. If you're going to go to overtime in Lawrence, you can kiss it goodbye. And so, and that's what happened. The Frogs are actually lucky to get it to overtime. I mean, or at least hold on for overtime. Kansas had a chance with a shot at the end. And so, we'll see we'll see how they bounce back this Saturday against an even better team in Arizona. And so I think the challenge is going to be great for them, but you can't allow one loss to count as 2 already. And so we'll see how they bounce.
Brian Estridge is our guest, play-by-play man for the TCU Horned Frogs. You guys obviously have played a number of difficult teams in the non-conference as well. I'm curious, you're one of the few teams that did not get blown out by Michigan. How are you guys able to hold that game so close against what is clearly one of the best teams in the country, if not the best team in the country right now?
Yeah, defense. I mean, and that was it. Like we talked, I think that, that Jamie Dixon's team defensively is good enough. They play really hard. They play sound, and no one's played them as tight, I guess, as TCU has really in the last couple of games. And so, I think as long as they'll do that, they'll be in every game this year. The problem is, you still got some guys that are adjusting to Jamie's system offensively. Can they continue to grow? You see Lelavicius, the kid from Oregon State, who's come on strong of late in this system, and if he can continue to do that, then I think TCU has a chance.
What are the kind of the core principles of Jamie's defensive style?
Well, every 50-50 ball is ours. That's what he says. And that's not Mike Wood. That's his. Every 50-50 ball is ours. And it just comes with maximum effort. I mean, that is the biggest thing is, you've got to want it more than the opponent. You've got to out-rebound them by plus 10. And I know Arizona does that as well as anybody in the country, plus 15 or so. But he wants to be at plus 10 every game. When it comes to rebounding. And really, he just wants to see maximum effort. It's not a full court pressure, in your face all the time. But in the half court, there are going to be no easy shots, and he wants everybody crashing the glass.
We're chatting with Brian Estridge. He is the play-by-play man for the TCU Horned Frogs. Wildcats and Horned Frogs down in Dallas is the game on the schedule. Now, you mentioned, obviously, that defensive side. Is there one guy that stands out, though, above the rest in terms of how they play defense? Obviously, Brock Harding leads your team in steals. Is he the best defender? Is it one of those other guys?
Yeah, I think it would have to be one of the other. I think David Punch's presence on the inside as a shot blocker and rebounder is vitally important for TCU. Also leads the team in scoring. But then there's Micah Robinson. Robinson is listed as a sixth man. Jamie considers him a starter. His minutes are starter minutes. You know, he's a double-double guy. But what he does defensively, he's an odd matchup in that he's 6'6", he's thick, he's strong. He usually will get the assignment of the toughest offensive threat from the opponent. And so I think that he, to me, is the key. You know, a guy who has really, really come on for them defensively is Jaden Pierre, too. The two-guard, a transfer from Providence. I think we really knew about his ability to score and his ability to shoot the three. He leads his team in three-point shooting. But he's drawn some of the tougher assignments in the last couple of games against bigger players and has responded nicely. So I think there's value in Jaden Pierre defensively as well.
I know you mentioned these teams very similar in the way they want to go after and try to control the boards. I would imagine, too, Jamie's system is such that you guys want to try to get out and run in transition. How's that gone so far?
Yeah, not as quick, obviously, as Arizona, but and not as quick as they have been in years past. You know, they led the Big 12 in fast break points for a couple of years there in a row. But this is a team that can kind of play any game you name. I mean, you saw them score 100 points at Allen Fieldhouse, and they win 69-63 against Baylor in the game before. So I think it's kind of, hey, whatever it takes, this team can get it done. And I think that's the way that they want to play, the way they have played. And I think that's the way that it will be this week as well.
Only fifth all-time meeting between these two schools. What's that? We always ask this question because obviously second year in the league for the Arizona Wildcats, going into a new venue for the first time. What's it going to be like? What's game day going to be like at TCU on a Saturday?
You know, it's a fun atmosphere. It's not going to be it's not Allen Fieldhouse. It's not what you get when you go to Iowa State. You know, this is a football town that uses basketball to kind of get through till spring practice. But it's a fun atmosphere, and Coach Dixon and his group have really built a competitive product. You know, he's a Hall of Famer. He's an alum of TCU, so he's come back here. I think they'll have an enjoyable experience. Fans will be nice to them. They don't have to worry about getting anything thrown. This is not Lubbock. They're not going to get anything thrown at them or anything. So.
Much like, I guess, with us, classes are still out, so students not really back on campus yet?
No, they are back. There'll be some students back. Yeah, there'll be some back on campus.
That's Saturday. Awesome. That's awesome to hear. I mean, first time in there, TCU and Arizona. Looking forward to this opportunity. Obviously, it's almost like our first game was against in Utah, and Kansas State had back-to-back games with us and BYU. Same thing with you guys. You'll play us first and then have to go and play BYU. Is there a different that, number one is coming in? Is there a different level of excitement about that at all?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think folks are, it's sold out. It'll be a great it'll be a great opportunity for TCU, and I think it's one where they got to learn to close out those big games at home. They had Michigan on the ropes, they had Notre Dame on the ropes, lost both of those ball games here in Fort Worth, and I think for them, they've just got to learn how to close out games like this, and I think that's what makes it important for them.
I remember when Jamie Dixon was kind of going through his, coaching process there, 10 so years ago. What has made this maybe the permanent landing spot for him? I think you mentioned, you mentioned he's obviously an alum.
Yeah, it's his alma mater. He even has said, all the success that I have had in my life is due to what TCU gave me.
Yeah.
As a playing career. So I think that's it. His son graduated from here. He and his wife love it here. I think he knows that he's building something that hasn't happened before. So I think he's really excited about that.
There you go. What's your early impression of? I mean, it's only a couple games, but what's your early impression of the league?
Hold on. Well, it's impossible. I mean, there used to be a running joke when TCU first got in the league that the tough part for TCU was they didn't get to play TCU because you didn't have one on the schedule where you thought, oh, you got a chance here. And there is no one like that in this league. So people talk about the gauntlet of the Big 12, and everybody looks at the early schedule and they go, oh, look at those first 4 games, and I'm like, well, look at the next 4 games. They're going to be just as hard. So, but you know what? You'd have it no other way, right? You want to be in the best. You want to beat the best, and I think that's the way Jamie Dixon feels.
There we go. All right, Brian Estridge. Hey, Brian, we appreciate you taking a chance to join us. Have a great call.
Thanks a lot.
Brian Estridge, the play-by-play man for the TCU Horned Frogs. It's the Wildcats and the Frogs Saturday. Again, our coverage will begin at 10:30 in the morning. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. Network takes over. Brian Jeffries, Reggie Geary at 1:30, and then 2 o'clock will be tip-off down in Fort Worth. We'll have post-game coverage after the game.
Let's hope they don't get field-housed.
Field-housed, I like that. I don't know if I've ever heard that term before.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas has
I've
always
been in a
been
few field houses, but I've never heard the term getting field house.
It makes sense. For me, if you're a fan of a program that's not Kansas in that conference, I mean, Kansas has always been, right at the top of the mountain. So there's going to be homer calls for the best teams and programs at home has always been the case. So not surprising that there's a bit of a reputation of that happening in Allen Fieldhouse.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We've got one more hour to go with you here today. And I've actually got something to tell you. I've got a programming announcement to make to you. Speaking of Big 12 basketball, next week, I'll give you that on the other side. Cricket is coming back on the other side with more about what's happening in Southern Arizona this weekend. There is a lot still to get to before we get out of here and hand it back to the new Westwood One Sports Network at 6 o'clock. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported Campbell and River slowing at the intersection, Country Club in Glen, Orange Grove and First Avenue, McGee and La Cholla, Campbell and Speedway, little east of the intersection, 12th Avenue in Valencia, also overturned vehicle Broadway and Swan slowing at Swan and Broadway. Freeze warning in effect until 9 tomorrow morning, 33 the overnight low, 58 and sunny tomorrow, 51 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Member Week is here for pros at Lowe's. Get up to 40% off hundreds of items, plus earn 5 times points on an eligible purchase. Now through January 14th. Point booster subject to exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change.
We are the rush, the pulse, the thrill you didn't see coming. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol, where Tucson's best just got better. Join Club Soul today and get $20 free play. That's right, your first play is on us. Play, earn, and unlock exclusive rewards that take your experience to the next level. More thrills, more perks, more of what makes Casino del Sol unforgettable. We are Club Soul, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui tribe.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
Just my next greatest idea ever.
Playing the lottery?
That's right, Doug. With all my winnings, I could enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally fix your car right. No more disasters, Doug. Your luck is about to change.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck, Eugene. But if you need a sure thing for your next set of tires or automotive repair, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. With more than 35 Top Shop awards and our Partners Network 3-year nationwide warranty, you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
And check out this month's special savings.
You'll find an entire page of them online at jackfurriers.com. Savings on tires, oil changes, batteries, wheel alignments, and more.
So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by any of our 14 area locations.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, here to get you there.
This new year, I want to spend more time with my family, get healthier, and make sure my finances are in order. That includes finally securing life insurance. My friend recommended SelectQuote. They've helped more than 2 million people find coverage in the last 40 years. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent found me a $500,000 policy for only $16 a month. And my husband got a $500,000 policy for only $18 a month. Plus, we qualified for same-day life insurance. No medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With SelectQuote, even if you have a health concern, be it high blood pressure, diabetes, even heart disease, their experienced agents can find you the right life insurance policy at the lowest price. Make life insurance the first resolution you check off your list this year.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-291-9090 to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-291-9090. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-291-9090. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Hour number 3 of our show, final hour. Going to be back with us here in a few minutes. She'll tell you more about what's happening in southern Arizona this weekend. Basketball all the way around. We mentioned Pima men home tomorrow noon at the West Gym. Women for U of A home tomorrow at McHale Center at 12 o'clock. We have got the first Gym Cats meet of the season tonight at McHale Center against the former Pac-12 sisters, the Washington Huskies. So head on out to McHale tonight and get you some Gym Cat action. It'll be the first, let's see, how many times are they home this year? I think they are home. Give me a second. I'll pull that up here. They are home this Friday. They will be home in 2 weeks against Townsend at home. And then they'll be at home Friday, February the 6th against Utah. That'll be, again, Utah is perennially the best team, no matter what conference they're in, whether it's the Big 12 or the Pac-12. Utah is the best team. So you got the best team, one of the best teams in women's college gymnastics coming in here on Friday night, February the 6th. Then February the 21st, the West Virginia will be here. March 6th, another Friday night, Arizona State. March 13th, another Friday night, will be a tri-meet between Southeastern Missouri, Texas Western, I believe that is, TWU, and Ohio State. So I know there's a ton of Buckeye fans. So all their home meets, if I'm reading this correctly, well, all of them except for the Virginia, which is on a Saturday afternoon, all the rest of them are on Friday nights. So there you go. Plan to spend the majority of your Friday nights over the course of the next 2 months at McHale with the Gym Cats.
Also, tonight's meet versus Washington's Youth Night, DK. So 6 p.m. is the start, but if you get there earlier, I know they always give away things. You have an opportunity to meet the athletes, that whole thing.
Yeah, I think that TWU is it's Texas Western in Denton, Texas. Have you ever been to Denton, Texas? I don't even know where
I've only really
Denton,
ever driven
Texas
through I've
is.
driven through Texas probably 6 or 7 times, but mostly driven through.
There you go.
So I'm not sure exactly where Denton is. I'd have to look and see if a route I've taken through Texas brought me through Denton.
Let's pull up Road to Nationals real quick and tell you what your Gym Cats are ranked to start this season. Actually, they might not be because I think you have to post a score to be ranked, but they're going to be up there. Actually, no. Yeah, we do have preseason rankings. Let's see. UCLA is number 1. No surprise there. Arizona not on the first page, which is top 20. Are they going to give me a second page here? Can I get a second page? I don't know if I can get a second page. All right. Well, we'll figure that out. But
Can I get a second
they're
page here?
top, exactly. I know they're top 30. I think they're somewhere between 20 and 30, but the Road to Nationals is not giving me a second page here, so I can't tell you whether they are or not. There you go. UCLA, Missouri, Utah. Utah is number 3. Clemson and California. Washington is number 6. Ooh, so that's going to be a tough one tonight as the Huskies come in at number 6. I mentioned Towson. They're number 12. Wow. So we got some
heavy hitters.
Heavy hitters. Yeah, I don't want to say big girls.
No, don't say that.
We got some heavy hitters coming in that the Gym Cats are hosting this year. So those are going to be some good matches.
Your question earlier about what they call the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it's on this schedule. They play in the Metroplex Challenge at some point in Fort Worth.
The Gym Cats?
On February 8th.
Okay.
Yeah, February 8th, the Gym Cats play in something called the Metroplex Challenge.
Who else is in that one?
It doesn't say.
No.
It doesn't say. Okay. There's no teams listed. But that one's on a Sunday, not a Friday.
Yeah, that's Sunday, February the 8th. All right. Let's give you, so we got our Westwood One Sports. Again, Westwood One Sports is the new network that is surrounding our show. It used to be one of the major changes we did not talk about in terms of the new network. It used to be 24 hours of live programming here. 3 hours of us, 21 hours of them. Now it is just 21 hours of live programming because they repeat 3 hours overnight. So we have a new show called Westwood One Sports Tonight, and that airs, I believe, between 10 and 1, if I'm not mistaken, 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. And then they repeat that show from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. So we are no longer live in the 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. block currently overnight. The next live show is the new East Coast Morning Show with Drake C. Toll. I've not had a chance to hear that yet, but that is on our air at 4 a.m. So
Westwood One Sports Tonight with Linnell Willingham and Josh Graham.
Yes. So it's an interesting setup. So Linnell hosts the show on Monday and Tuesday, and then Josh and Linnell host the show together on Wednesday, and then Josh hosts the show Thursday and Friday, and I think they both do weekend shows as well, those two. So they actually, they're working 5 days a week, just on a little bit of a different kind of schedule. Because I think they both do shows on Saturday and Sunday. So you can hear them together on Wednesday nights, solo those other nights of the week and on the weekends. All right. So let's start with what we've got in terms of our we've got a little bit of a disagreement on this Eagles game versus the 49ers. Let's start. I believe this is first you're going to hear Pat Boyle. Pat Boyle is he's on the Bet Tonight, or is it BetMGM Tonight?
Bet MGM tonight with Brad Evans.
Yeah, with Brad Evans, our guy in the morning, the noisy
best voice
noisy
in radio.
Huevos, as he is called on Twitter. Here's what Pat Boyle thinks of the game between the Eagles and the 49ers.
I'm Pat Boyle, here to help you beat the books with Westwood One Sports. The defending Super Bowl champion Eagles host the Niners on Sunday, and I think the market is overreacting to practice status for San Francisco. We talking about practice. Specifically, I'm talking about all-world left tackle Trent Williams. He's the X factor in this contest. If he plays, the Niners offense will move the ball effectively. I don't care how elite Vic Fangio's defense has been. The spread is over 5 now. I'll buy in and take the points with the 49ers. I'm Pat Boyle. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
So Pat Boyle likes the 49ers plus the 5 points against the Eagles. You'll hear that game right here on Wildcats Radio 1290 on Sunday at 2:30. Now, Nick Costos, who's actually, and if you didn't follow along, essentially what happened was there were two networks. There was Infinity Sports Network. There was BetMGM Network. Now, we actually carried the weekend part side of BetMGM Network for a little while over on 1400 KTUC. When that network flipped to Conservative Talk, on the weekends we would carry the BetMGM Network initially, and then they dropped it. That was before I took it over. They dropped it and went strictly conservative for 7 days a week. So some of the folks that were on the shows on BetMGM Network, it was a full 24-hour network. Some of those folks came over to this new Westwood One Sports Network, Pat Boyle is was the only full-time host that came over from Infinity Sports Network. J-Dub mentioned Lionel Willingham. You heard his voice a lot because he was one of the weekend guys that you would hear often on Infinity Sports Network. So he, I believe, is the only other voice that came over. Now, Nick Costos was one of the BetMGM network guys. So he's an actual guy that was talking betting, and his show is You Better You Bet. It's in the morning. So he is kind of the, quote, bet guy along with Brad Evans, who's on the evening show. Those are the two guys that came over from the BetMGM network. So here's what Nick Costos says about the Eagles versus the 49ers game.
Nick Costos here to help you beat the books with Westwood One Sports. Coming up on Sunday in the Pro Football Playoffs, Philadelphia, 5-point home favorite against San Francisco. Total in the game is 44.5. And this number's gotten bet out towards Philly, and I really agree with that. San Francisco's the walking wounded. Philly basically had a week off. Philly the better team, playing at home. I think Philly wins by a touchdown or more. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
All right, so Nick Costos says take the Eagles at home and lay the 5. Pat Boyle says take the 49ers on the road with the 5. So we've got a difference of opinion here. So who are you taking? Who do you take in that game? 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Are you taking the Niners and the 5, or are you laying the Eagles minus the 5? The Eagles, that's a tough one for me. I don't know that the Eagles are going to lose at home, but I don't know if they're going to win by a whole lot. I think if I was betting, again, Pat Boyle is not the betting guy. Nick Costos is the betting guy. And because if you've been with us, you know we were kind of flipping what the betting guys were telling us because we were losing so much. So if Nick Costos is telling us to take the Eagles and lay the points, I think I might be going with the 49ers and pocketing that 5. I just like the 49ers better. The Eagles have been a little bit too up and down for me at times this year. I just don't know if it's the same team last year. And obviously Saquon Barkley has not been the same running back last year. I don't know that they get back deep into this postseason. So I'm taking the 49ers and the 5 points in that game. I know you don't like the NFL, but do you have a guess?
It's not that I don't like the NFL. I just I don't watch weekly. Like I watch highlights. I just don't watch games weekly. But yeah, I mean, I think the Eagles, from what I've seen, I think the Eagles are not quite what they were a couple of years ago. So yeah, I mean, if it's me, I'm going with Nick Costas from Queens with his opinion, and I'll probably do that over Pat Boyle. How's that?
Okay, so you're going to take the Eagles and lay the 5.5 points. You're going to take you're siding with the betting guy who we lost close to $500 with.
Generally, yeah. Well, we lost a lot of money with the algorithm, which a lot of it was computer based, right? With those kind of betting lines that were done. So I don't know that Nick Costas is the guy behind the scenes pressing all those buttons and getting that information to us.
So you're blaming it on not the people, but the model.
The model, yeah, because
the
that was
BetMGM
it.
network model.
The model,
was
right?
bad.
The model. That's what they always say. The model tells us we put a bunch of numbers into a computer and it spits out information to us.
So are they using the model now with Westwood on Sports? I've not heard anybody.
I haven't heard
use
model
that.
as much.
Yeah,
but what I always said was like in certain years and especially certain sports, like college basketball is much harder to bet in November because you've got all these different pieces moving and changing and new coaching staffs. It's much more settled and you know what you're going to get once you get to January, right? So those computer models are basing a lot of their information on last year's results, right? So if you're basing last year's results in an era where teams have 9 new players on their rosters, it gets a little sticky.
All right, I've got some more, including the game that's about to start. We'll get to that on the other side.
Like 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, it starts in 20 minutes. I've got a play there. I've got some plays on the other games, so we'll get to those coming up in our next segment. But right now, we invite back Cricket from the traffic room. By the way, Cricket, we did not get a chance. So how was your break? Did you do any? What was the most exciting thing you did on break? Because you were gone, a week?
Well, I was working for our
that's right.
one of our coworkers.
So you were in the morning. You really weren't gone. You were just gone in the morning.
I got some naps.
Because Dave gets to take off
for the holidays.
Yeah, so he's an important person. He gets to take off for the holidays.
Yep.
All right.
That's how we roll.
So what was the most exciting thing that happened during the holidays for cricket?
Naps and
company?
food.
Now, what was the best thing you ate?
Maybe like loaded nachos.
Would you go to a game or something?
No, we went to. Where did we go?
Did we
go
make
to
them, or did you go to an event?
Where did we go? Was it
You went
Redbird?
to Trident. We know it. Come on. Everybody knows it.
Do they have loaded nachos at Trident?
They do. They do
Okay.
have loaded nachos. Every time I wanted to go, there was a game, and it would be so busy. Like I like that atmosphere, but
Sure.
not when I just want to grub.
Right.
You know, if you want to hang out and
Sure.
drink and eat, but I was like, I just want to stuff my face.
I know because I couldn't get out of it. So
Now,
like,
which one do you
regardless,
go
for
to?
many years of my life, yeah.
You go to Original Trident, or which one do you go to?
I do. I want to say I prefer Original Trident because that's old school and
Yeah.
I love it. But I live right next to Swan
Two.
location. Yeah, Trident 2. So
That's ours as well.
yeah,
Yeah, we're all in the same neighborhood.
in
We're
the
all-
same
we're-
hood.
We're all rich folks in the same neighborhood. No,
That's
actually,
funny. Who are you talking to? That's hilarious.
Actually, I'm sorry. Cricket lives on the other side,
Side
of the
of River
tracks.
Road. I live
She's on
south
the
of
other side of
River.
River Road. Exactly.
I'll know. I know. I'll be
Well,
moving
J-Dub's
up.
on that side, but he's on the nice other side of River Road.
Yeah.
Right? He's on the north side of the other side of River Road.
Yeah, we're
Darn,
on the,
we're both south of
we're
River.
in the bubble.
Yeah, but
we're
he's
in the
on
bubble. Yeah,
he's on
area.
the north side of the south side.
Where I
of
live right next to Winter Haven, so it's there's a blurred area right in that area south of
Yeah.
River there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. So what's happening tonight?
Oh,
or this weekend?
Or this weekend.
Yeah. What's
well,
happening? You got anything at the Surly Winch for me this weekend?
I did not find
No?
anything.
Okay.
I think everyone's partied out.
Yeah, that's
for January.
Yeah.
So I figured it's worth another mention. Lights Up a Festival of Illumination at
Oh,
Tucson Botanical Gardens.
by the way,
through Sunday, did you get Cricket's tickets?
Cricket's tickets came in for that. How about that?
But you can only go
Look at-
Sunday.
Oh, this is only for Sunday?
Yeah, well, it's, what does it say? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday?
Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I can go
Maybe you could go
Sunday.
on Sunday.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How about look at that.
And-
Cricket's got tickets, handing out the tickets to Lights Up.
Let's see
I
yours,
love
Dub.
it.
J-Dub got some too.
J-Dub got some
maybe
too?
he can go. He's not sure if he
All
can
right.
go.
No, I mean the Botanical Gardens is one of Paige's favorite places, and this is the
It's
last
close.
night, the 11th on Sunday is the very last night for Lights Up. So we're definitely going to go. So we'll see you there, DK.
There we go.
Yay! Millions of twinkly lights. It's amazing. Check out the little model trains. You guys can't use your tickets for tomorrow night, but tomorrow night is a vintage car show at the Tucson Botanical Gardens.
Okay.
And also, I want to tell you about something that's happening next weekend because it might sell out at the University of Arizona Flandreau Science Center and Planetarium on the 17th. The Laser Light Music Nights. The first show is David Bowie Laser Light Show. Second show, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. By the way, that one usually always sells out. And then the last show on the 17th is the Doors Jimi Hendrix Laser Light Show.
All kinds of 70s music there.
Yeah, so you can get your tickets and showtimes at flandreau.org.
All
Fine Line Revisited with DJ Stubby.
So there is something at Surly Winch?
Tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
Well, DJ Stubby. I don't think I've ever heard DJ Stubby spin here.
The Fine Line was a club, and this is the Fine Line tribute to the Fine Line.
I remember that.
okay.
Yeah.
Like
It was a club here?
Fine
Yes.
Line. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
No.
long ago.
You went?
Maybe. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
I went. Yeah, back
Okay.
in the day.
Probably.
Very good. Well, if you've been to the Fine Line, I've never been it. 520-848-1290. Tell me what it was about back in the day. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
And from the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions that are reported at Glen and Country Club in Glen, also Orange Grove and Thornydale's clearing. We do have some backups for travel on Swanwick Grant, busy on Alvernon at Grant Road, and those usual backups at Ajo and Mission for westbound and southbound travel. Freeze warning in effect until 9 tomorrow morning, 33 the overnight low, 58 sunny skies tomorrow, and 50 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
They say time flies like a sparrow.
And fruit flies like a banana. We're off to a great start.
If you two don't mind, I'd like to tell our customers about something they won't do in 2026.
I'm not doing a lot of things, like changing your socks.
Guys, I'm talking about no payments or interest for a full year on a new system.
Oh, people are going to like that. You should tell them.
As I was saying, Alaskan AC can install a brand new heating and air system and have no payments or interest for a year.
365 days, 12 months.
You'll get all the comfort, and you won't write a check for a whole year.
Ha! Ron still writes checks. He's so old, the first picture of him was an oil painting.
You guys having fun?
I never have fun. I'm having a little fun.
This is big. With approved credit, get a spanking new furnace and AC system. No payments or interest for a year.
Spanking new? Ron talks old-timey.
Schedule your appointment today, whenever you want, online at alaskanac.com.
Hi guys, I'm back. What's new?
Tucson Appliance Scratch and Dent Studio.
All the Scratch and Dent merchandise has its own new studio.
There were so many Scratch and Dent discounted items. Now they have a place of their own.
I love it. A whole Scratch and Dent studio right next to Tucson Appliance. They don't look like Scratch and Dent,
but it shows in the low prices.
Tucson Appliance Scratch and Dent Studio. Proud local supporters of the Southern Arizona Heartball. Only at Tucson Appliance where you are a priority.
Everyone loves a backyard barbecue, but who has the time? I'm Josh Bishop, owner of Fork and Fire in Oro Valley and Catalina. My brother, best friend, and I have been cooking for one another and our neighbors for years, and we still get to live our passion every day at Fork and Fire. In Oro Valley, you'll discover bold, smoky brisket, ribs, pulled pork, and many creative dishes, paired with local craft beers on tap and specialty cocktails. Fork and Fire, your neighborhood backyard barbecue, where great food meets good times and strong community. Join us today at Fork and Fire, Oro Valley, and in Catalina.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better, Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. Ohio State guard Jelani Cambridge lived out a dream Wednesday night.
I want and need A'ja Wilson to watch me play at least once in my lifetime, and I'll be happy.
Cambridge did far more than just play with her hero, finally sitting courtside. The one they call Queen Lonnie put on a show.
Takes one dribble, now feeds it right corner. Jelani Cambridge a three.
Big shot
Got it
by
to
Jelani.
Go. Jelani Cambridge having a night.
Tyler Danberg and Katie Matter-Henninger on the call as Cambridge made history, pouring in a career-high 41 points to lift the Buckeyes past Illinois 78-69. It marked Ohio State's first 40-point game since Kelsey Mitchell did it in 2016. And after the final buzzer, the night came full circle. Jelani, alongside her sister and teammate Kennedy, met the legend as Wilson signed shoes and posed for photos. What a moment for Jelani Cambridge. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Jody Jackson on Westwood One.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there, providing hot meals, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding.
To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Straight Talk presents The Math of More. Here's how it works. When you say yes to more with Straight Talk, you're left with more for all the other good stuff. So getting an unlimited plan starting at just $25 a month equals more savings for your family's weekend adventures. And with a network covered by Verizon, you can share more from wherever you go. It's simple math, really. More equals more with Straight Talk. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. The $25 plan requires a compatible unlocked device and a new line of service. Additional terms apply.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
3 little words no parent wants to hear.
My tummy hurts.
And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. Pepto Kids chewables provide fast relief for common stomach issues, turning those 3 words into these 3 words.
I feel better.
Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for Pepto Kids chewables. Fast relief for little tummies. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The Dell Technologies semi-annual sale is on, with limited quantity deals on top tech. Save on select PCs powered by the latest 12th gen Intel Core processors like thin and light XPS 13 laptops, Inspiron laptops, and 2-in-1s. Plus, get savings on select accessories, free shipping, and monthly payment options with Dell Preferred Account. Save today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We have got hockey tonight here in Southern Arizona as well. The Roadrunners are back at the arena. In fact, they've got a 6-game homestand that they are about to open up here. So they'll be home for the next 6 to this weekend. It is who? Iowa is in town. I believe Iowa is the Blackhawks affiliate. So, speaking of Illinois, well, I'm sure there'll be some Chicago Blackhawks fans in the crowd tonight. 14-12-5 are your Roadrunners. They've won 4 of their last 5. San Jose and San Diego will also be in on this 6-game homestand, so a chance to build on that good feeling on the ice. 7 o'clock face-off tonight, so head on out there and check out the Tucson Roadrunners this weekend, tonight and tomorrow night. They'll also be at home. Tomorrow night's game also at 7. The next Friday and Saturday night against San Jose, 7 o'clock. And then a midweek series the following midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, against the San Diego Gulls in the I-8 Clash. Now, we are getting set for the second semifinal in college football. So I have a play for you on that. Westwood One Sports Top Play, brought to you by BetMGM. No longer BetMGM Network, just BetMGM. The whole casino did not shut down, just the network shut down. The folks over at Westwood One Sports say take Indiana minus the 3.5 points over Oregon. Indiana has pretty much bludgeoned everybody but Ohio State, and they beat Oregon by 10 in Eugene. I keep saying to myself, I'm not ready to still believe that Indiana is this good, but I think I'm going with that tonight. I think I'm going with Indiana minus the 3.5 points over Oregon. NFL super wild card weekend. So this is what we've got. We've got a couple, and then we've got a long-term one as well. I gave you before, we're taking the 49ers plus the 5 over the Eagles on Saturday. Now, the Panthers are getting 10.5 points against the Rams. Westwood One Sports says take the Panthers in that game. That's a lot. I think that's the only NFL game that's double digits on the line. The Panthers have kind of been a little, we love them. We carried their games, but they have been quite wishy-washy this year in terms of, and they've lost 4 of their last 6 games. Talk about backing into the postseason. But 10.5 is a large number at home. First playoff game since they beat the Cardinals in the NFC Championship game in 2016. So I'm going to take the Panthers and the 10.5 points in that game over the Rams at minus 110.
One thing we do know, however, is if the Panthers do keep it close, they have a good chance of winning because they've won a lot of close games this year.
They have done that. Monday night playoff football, that's become a thing in the last few years as the NFL continues to try to take over every night. Steelers and the Texans. So it's the Texans at the Steelers. The Steelers got in by way of, unfortunately, our guy Tyler Luke's missed field goal at the end. They kept the Ravens out, but they host a playoff game now. They are a 3-point, and it's actually down to 3. It was 3.5 when we got it, so we'll take what we got, and we're going to take the Steelers plus the 3.5. At least that's what Westwood One. Westwood One is saying take the 3.5 and the Steelers. The Texans, man, have been the hottest team. I mean, they are the hottest team going into this event. So I don't know that I don't know that the Steelers are gonna win this game. And I honestly don't know. I don't really like that Steelers plus 3.5 that they're telling us to take. I would probably take the Texans and lay that number. But we'll go with what the Westwood One folks say because, again, this is a new group of people. We want to give them a chance. So Steelers plus 3.5 over the Texans. I'm sure Fred Harvey, if he's listening, is not happy about that. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Those are your Westwood One Sports top plays for today. All right. I mentioned we talked earlier. The Suns have a game coming up at home tonight against the Knicks, looking to go to 23-15 as they inch towards the halfway point of this season. I want to give you a little bit of what. First let's hear from the head coach, Jordan Ott, and we heard from Matt Ishbia and got his thoughts on everything that's happening with his team that is playing much better than people thought. Let's hear a little bit from the new head coach, Jordan Ott, about the defensive intensity and in particularly Dylan Brooks and what he's brought to this team as he helped them win in return to the city of another team he used to play for, the Memphis Grizzlies, earlier this week.
Yeah, offensively, we just moved it. That's how you get 56 threes, is by moving the basketball. They were aggressive at the point of the pick and roll, and our ball handlers got off of it. So Book did a great job. Colin, Grayson, those guys getting off of it allows us to get some shots from three. And then I thought in transition, we really ran. Obviously didn't know they were on the second night of a back-to-back. Then just defensively, just our intent to really guard. I thought our pressure bothered them at times. Again, second night of back-to-back is tough. We want to be one of those teams where it's tough to play against every night, especially on second night of back-to-backs, and our guys. It's really that second unit, I thought, in the first quarter really got after them, set a great tone. And then the third quarter, our starters, when they got back in.
After last game, Grayson had said he was kind of coming out looking to make things simple, looking for the right pass. But tonight, getting it going like that, what did he give you with his scoring?
That's bad coaching. I never want him to be simple, passive, whatever he said. I want him to be aggressive. So every night he's out there, every possession, we want every single person on the floor being a threat, being aggressive. He was great. Grayson was great tonight. Glad to have him back.
Coach, obviously you guys are, one to force the turnovers and capitalize off of that. I thought this was one of the games where it looked like Memphis was just all out of sorts on where to go with the ball. How much is that a part of that pressure, okay, get them completely out of sorts offensively in terms of where they're even looking to go with the ball?
You want to disrupt for sure. There's different points and parts of the court where we really feel like we can be extremely disruptive. They do a good job moving it. They played really fast. But where there was points to really disrupt, we wanted to heat them up as best we could. Again, we know they're on the second night of back-to-back. They're without a lot of guys. We want to apply our pressure every night, but especially we felt that we could disrupt them. And then that really helps our offense.
And then obviously Dylan, whenever he comes back here, he's obviously geeked up, and he had some moments there tonight. Maybe just speak to how much his energy probably was fueling you guys the way he came out.
Yeah, it's just a repetitive narrative of his just overall demeanor every single night sets the tone for our group. He's done it since day one, like we talked about in the pregame. He starts defensively, his aggressiveness defensively. We decided to put him on Spencer because Spencer's had a lot of success lately, especially last night. We tried to put him on the ball, see how aggressive we could be right at the point of the attack. And then any disruption that we can get from him defensively really fuels our offense.
All right, Suns and the Knicks tonight. That's a 7 o'clock start up in Phoenix as the Suns look to continue that good feeling of winning. You were going to say something about the Spencer brothers he was mentioning.
Well, the Spencer in question there, I'm blanking on his first name, but he plays for Memphis. I think it was UConn. He was a freshman on the championship team, if I remember correctly. But the real story more recently, DK, has been his brother, Pat Spencer, if you are familiar. Considered to be the greatest, if not one of the greatest lacrosse players in NCAA history.
Really?
Never played basketball. And then I think it was 2-3 years ago, maybe out of COVID, he, obviously played basketball in high school and whatnot, has picked it up and played in the G League for the Warriors. But he's found rotational minutes this year and has made huge winning plays down the stretch. And Steve Kerr has had some expletives to say about him in post games, because he's that dude. And he is just a guy with infinite confidence. As I said, widely considered to be potentially the greatest lacrosse player in NCAA history, doing things right now for the Warriors. He's averaging about 7 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 rebounds right now as a role player with Steph Curry and those guys. But a really interesting story in that he never played college basketball.
Wow. That's impressive to not have played and been able to come in and do that at such a high level. For sure. 520-848-1290. We've got one more segment to go. When we come back, we haven't even touched on one of the hot stories of the week. We will do that. It is a college football story, and it involves a young man who initially was supposed to start his college career right here in Tucson, Arizona. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported at Thornydale and Orange Grove and Thornydale, also Country Club and Glen and Country Club. We got some usual slowdowns for travel on Swanwick Grant, also busy Grant Road and Alvernon Way. Freeze warning in effect until 9 tomorrow morning. 33 is the overnight low. Sunny skies and 58 tomorrow, and it is about 49 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CHEAP25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CHEAP25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code CHEAP25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
As
As the new year begins, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing would like to thank you for allowing us to serve Tucson and the surrounding communities for the past 25 years. Whether it is a small water leak or a full air conditioning replacement, we do it all, big or small. For professional service, call Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturerockscooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa.
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
if these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist and ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants and stuff.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns, and here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Final segment of our show today. Final chance for you to get in on that show. 520-848-1290 is the number. So, lots been happening, obviously, with the end of the college football season. Well, at least for the teams not playing in the semifinals. And they obviously are having to recruit now as well because the portal is open. The Wildcats have been signing players left and right. They've signed a ton of tight ends already. They've brought in some defensive guys, linebacker out of Memphis, some other places, cornerback out of Wyoming. So a lot of being signing. We'll check in next week with On3 and kind of see if they put a rating on it yet in terms of the transfer class for the University of Arizona. The big news, though, in college football on the West Coast this week was the flip-flopping of decision-making by Washington quarterback Damon Williams. For those of you who know, Damon Williams went to Basha High School in Chandler, helped win them a state championship, kind of really helped, for a long time, it was Chandler and Chandler Hamilton in that community. And then Basha came along and stole some of that thunder as being the best high school football team in the state of Arizona, and Damon Williams was a large part of that. Recruited by Jedd Fisch when Jedd Fisch was here at the University of Arizona, committed to come play here at the University of Arizona, and then decommitted after Jedd Fisch left to go to Washington and has played his college career at Washington and has been a very good young quarterback there. Got some playing time as a true freshman, and then really lit it up this past year as a sophomore. And as you all know now, in terms of the way things, business is done in the era of revenue share, these young men sign contracts every year. Every year is a new contract. And Damon Williams had signed a new contract to return and play next season as a junior at the University of Washington. And that was, I think a week and a half ago.
For how much money?
Yeah, a lot.
$4.5 million is what they're saying.
$4+ million. And then all of a sudden he decided, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going into the transfer portal. He announced this on Monday night, that he was going into the transfer portal. Not only did he announce this on Monday night, but he announced it on Monday night during a funeral service for a fellow student athlete on the women's soccer team who had passed away earlier this fall.
Bro, I mean, $4.5 million will buy you a lot of PR firm help. So maybe invest in that, my friend.
Yeah, he needs a lot of PR help right now. And then last night, it came out that Damon Williams was not, in fact, going to leave Washington. He was going to stay and play at Washington.
Yeah.
This has been a total cluster for this young man over the course of the last week. I don't know. In fact, it was such a cluster that his agent actually dropped him.
Yeah.
This week.
His agent dropped him, and then he said, no, just kidding. I'm going back to Washington. The interesting thing about this story, DK, is what I understand is they used a pretty boilerplate Big Ten contract that they signed initially for the NIL. The thing about that is there's actual protections for the universities. And so if he had not reversed course, if he had not returned to play for the Huskies, the Big Ten and Washington were going to fight him in court. So I'm not so sure, he's, of course, everything he's saying now is it's for the love. I'm totally committed. I love the Huskies. I love Seattle, all that stuff. But there was a actual potential that this could have been a benchmark case in which an athlete did sign a huge NIL sum of money, tried to get back out of that contract after it was already signed. And that's where we're at. We don't know revenue sharing. We don't know if about student athletes are employees. That's all going to be decided. Those laws are going to be written in the next, 2-3 years. But for now, there has to be accountability for the athletes. You can't have athletes sign $4+ million contracts one day and less than 48 hours later say, no, I'm just kidding. I'm going somewhere else. They have to be held. Now, the freedom for them to move around, that's obvious. I mean, that's what a lot of athletes have been asking for forever. But for them to not, hold true to those contracts, especially so soon after signing it only could end this way. Otherwise, it was going to be, again, a big cluster, a big nightmare.
So Damon put out a statement yesterday. After thoughtful reflection with my family, I'm excited to announce I will continue my football journey at the University of Washington. I am fully committed, focused on contributing to what we are building. I'm excited to reunite with my teammates and to lead the University of Washington to success in 2026 season and beyond. So here's our question of the day, and we put it up yesterday, but you still have about 2.5 hours to go to go vote on it. On our Twitter account at Wildcats1290. I put it up after this announcement came out that he was returning. And it's simple. It's simple. Would you want, if you were a teammate of Damon Williams at the University of Washington, would you want him back? Would you want your leader? Quarterbacks are supposed to be leaders, okay? And your leader signed a contract, then said, nah, I'm going to go in the portal because, I got to get what's mine. I'm going to announce I'm going in the portal while my entire team is at a funeral for one of our fellow student athletes. And then I'm going to change my mind and say, no, I'm actually going to stay at Washington. And look, I never played high-level football, but I've been on teams before. And if he was my teammate, I wouldn't want him back in my locker room. I wouldn't want him leading my football team if I was his teammate. No, y'all keep stepping, as we used to say in the neighborhood. Keep stepping, Damon. Don't come back here. Because that's not the kind of leader that I want if I'm a football player at the University of Washington. I want a guy who's committed, not some guy who's flip-flopping. And I get it. We're in a new era, but at some point, you got to do right by the guys you go to war with. And Damon Williams didn't do that this week. And if I was a Washington player right now, I would not want him. I'd be interested if we get a chance to talk to Desmond Roebuck. I'd love to hear what Desmond has to say about this. I know Desmond won't probably tell us how he really feels because that's his teammate. But I wish we had more kids that would come up and say, Damon, keep stepping your ass out of Seattle because we don't want you back here at what do they call it? What do they call the Lake Mound or whatever it's called? Yeah, we don't want you back here at Washington.
I think that Damon Williams is just a fan of Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels and what they did. Because if he would have left Washington, his destination was going to be LSU, right? Like that was already almost pretty much set in stone. So, yeah, I mean, seeing what Joe Burrow winning a Heisman after transferring there and obviously Jaden Daniels after coming from the School of North. But I agree. I mean, there's no way. It's really tough when you have somebody quit. And at the same time, DK, we're talking about an era where we know all these student athletes are really happy about each other getting that bag because this is the first era that's ever been a thing. So there has to be a little bit of, get what you can while you can get it. But when you're a leader, and especially as a sophomore who got time as a freshman, that's the thing. You're talking about a proud program that was just in the national championship 3 years ago. Having your person before his breakout potential Heisman level year decide he wants to go take a bigger bag and go play, for a big SEC school. Yeah, I don't know about how happy that locker room is going to be in spring practice.
Mont Lake is, I think, I said Lake Mound or whatever. Mont Lake, I think, is what they called it, the area there around the University of Washington. And Indiana's already up 6-0, 11 seconds into the game.
Bro, I don't know what kind of pixie dust magic is going on over there in Hoosierland, but that's a team of destiny.
I don't see any green. I'm not seeing any green.
I'm telling you,
I see a lot of red there. I don't know if I'm seeing very much green tonight.
I read people around the whole area, just all the bars and everything. It was just nothing but Hoosiers, nothing but red.
There you go. Could that be us? Could that be us? Is there a Merchants Bank here in Tucson that wants to throw $50 million at the University of Arizona football program? All right, so the question of the day, if Damon Williams was your teammate, would you want him back? You got about 2 hours left to vote on this. Head on over right now to Twitter at Wildcats1290. This has been up since last night. So right now, 81% of the voters say no, Damon is not trustworthy. 81% saying no, 19% saying yes, I take him back. Kids make mistake. Our guy, JP the Wildman, who covers a lot of high school sports around here for AZ Sports Network, he said, my answer is yes, but I don't see it as a mistake. Haha, an extra $2 million is a lot of cash.
That's what I mean. Like, I think there's a level of, you support your friends in the locker room to go and get, take care of their families and all that. We never had this conversation, DK, about college athletes and how many millions of dollars they could get on the open market, but that's where we live right now. So, yeah, I mean, but from a teammate's perspective, you want them to stick it out, run the course, and do it next year, right? Because they have some talent. It's just a matter of putting it all together.
Yeah, I don't know. He'd have to be pledged. He'd have to pledge his way back onto my roster if I was a leader, another leader on that team in that locker room at Washington. He would not just be able to come back in. I don't care how much money he got or if he's the quarterback or not. He would have to pledge. All right, time now for your Casino del Sol replay.
The Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, we had a chance to talk to Brock Mendoza, Pima basketball, 16-0. They're home tomorrow at noon. Did not play a lot last year, did the 6'11" center, but on the floor now. I asked him what he did over the summer to work his way into Brian Peabody's starting lineup.
I think just continuing to work hard every single day. When I first came here and redshirted, I just wanted to tell myself that if I worked as hard as possible, then I could live with the results. So, every day I've been here, coach pushes us and is always on us to get better. So I'm going to continue to do that. And, that's really was my whole mentality this offseason.
Who were some of the, when you first got here, who were some of the young guys on that, the older guys or sophomores on that team a couple years ago that really kind of helped set you up for success?
One of my roommates, his name was Tanner Peschel.
Mm-hmm.
He was a good player that year. Also, Gabe Oldham was on the team the past few years. He was our starting center. He pushed me every day. West Ball, Dylan Alexander, these are other bigs that were starting for us the last few years, and just working against them helped.
What do you love most about this system? I mean, we talk about it all the time that, the goal is to get to 100 points in any Brian Peabody game that Peabody's coaching. But you were probably here a couple of years. I think it was last year? I think it was last year. He's not afraid. I remember I was at a game. I think it was at a game last year where he literally took 3 timeouts in like 2 minutes, because you guys weren't playing defense. So he's not afraid to. He likes to score, but he's not afraid to put the brakes on when this team is not defending the way that he wants you guys to defend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think my favorite part about the system is just it's meant for everyone to be unselfish and the ball to have energy and find good shots every time, and then we just want to play high pace and put the score up too, but we don't want to just give up easy buckets, so we want to compete on both ends of the floor.
Today's Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, before we wrap it up, I promised you I had an announcement for you. Tuesday night, we are going to have coverage of the college basketball game, Big 12, number 3 Iowa State at 22nd ranked Kansas. You'll hear that game right here. Coverage will begin at 6:30 Tuesday night on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Don't get fieldhoused.
Yeah, don't get fieldhoused for sure. We're back with you at 10:30 in the morning. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day for J-Dub, for Dragon Ball, for Cricket. I'm David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great Friday night. Bear Down, Arizona.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Crash occurred westbound I-10 just west of Ina, and some slowing on westbound I-10 approaching and passing Ina. Minor collision occurred at Glen and Country Club. Pretty sure the Mount Lemmon Highway will open this weekend for snow visitors. Be very careful and expect a lot of backups on your way up to Mount Lemmon this weekend. And that's your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
As America's #1 motorcycle insurer, Progressive has your back.
Oh, like if I need a replacement part?
Sure, we can help with that.
Ah, nice. Hey, I just entered this online contest for coolest bike in the world. You think maybe you can vote for me?
Actually, we just do insurance, not popularity contests.
Yeah, I know. But what's your email? I'll just send you the link real quick. You can vote like 100 times a day. They'll never know.
To be clear, Progressive has your back for insurance only. So get a quote and see if you can save.
So what I'm hearing is there's a little bit of wiggle room.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Covered subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
As the new year begins, Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing would like to thank you for allowing us to serve Tucson and the surrounding communities for the past 25 years. Whether it is a small water leak or a full air conditioning replacement, we do it all, big or small. For professional service, call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
If you could rewind 10 years, what would you do differently? Buy Apple stock at $20? Skip the Ghost Pepper Challenge? Maybe even rethink the skinny jeans. Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Some regrets are harmless, termite damage isn't. You can't go back in time, but you can keep termites from eating your future. Call Blue Sky Pest Control today for your free termite inspection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, pests.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better, Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
En garde!
Ever wanted to try an Olympic sport but think you're too old, too out of shape, too busy, or that those sports are just too unsafe? Think again. Fencing is taking the nation by storm, and it's a safe, fun, engaging sport that's perfect for everyone. Any age, any skill level. Classes are safe, active, engaging, and community-driven. No experience needed, and most clubs offer loaner gear for beginners. Learn more and find beginner classes near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing.
For us, but I'm proud of how we fought, regardless of the outcome.
Jamie, on the last possession for Kansas in regulation, I assume you were expecting a 3. What was the instruction to your team on?
Yeah, we wanted, we just didn't get it done. We didn't do what we wanted to do, so that's on me. If it doesn't get done, it's on me. You got to teach it better, got to coach it better, and you got to be there. So. The games change on how they call those things, and it's a challenge, and it was not what we wanted to do.
Surprised at all to see Darren come back in those final seconds for KU, or did you expect that?
I'm thinking about it. We got guys. Everybody's going to battle. David went back in a couple times, and. We're there was a lot of things. Expect guys to play. David got back in there and he was cramping up in both legs.
And then, David, you talk about the rebounding on this team and how you guys need to rebound and out-rebound the other team. If you look down the numbers, it's every single player contributed in that department. What can you say about that?
I can say our team, like I just said, our team is full of competitors. We're going to compete, every single game. And, as a leader on this team, all I can do is say I'm proud. There's nothing more to it. These guys, they fought, and we put up a great fight, and when it